It's Thursday, and we are doing an extra ride for Lawyer Reacts Live. Why? Because there's too much to cover in Friday's show. I can't always stream for 5 hours. Judge A is giving sass, and I just so deeply and desperately want to move on from this case, and we can't. We just can't. We can't move on because stuff keeps popping off. So today we are just going over Judge A's two latest orders in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, unsealing stuff and sassing about Juror 15. The fired up, the way that I'm fired up. There's maybe a few other things we need to, there's one other thing we need to touch on, but it's going to be a podcast episode, but it happened. We have to address it real quick. So, replay crew, hey boo, love you. The timestamps will be down below when we're done. Let me know where you're coming in from. I have fizzy water, always a bad idea when streaming, but I love it. And then Dr. B just saved my tuchus with waters that I thought were full, but I had drank during a podcast interview I gave earlier today and were empty. So he came in and saved me. And then I had my closet reorganized yesterday and I couldn't find my earrings because they weren't where I thought they'd be. And then that caused me stress. So now we're here. So today, what caused Emily to be late today? Well, ADHD, but also the fact that my earrings were not where I thought they would. And now I need to rearrange things. But we'll get that done. So let's roll the intro. Let's say hi to everybody all across the interwebs. And we will be rolling. Let us rolling. I had that same black Starbucks tumbler until my puppy chewed the lid. They do that. My cats keep trying to knock these off my desk when they're empty, and eventually they're going to break. Watching from South Carolina, well, news is breaking in your part of the woods. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. All right, we need to roll this intro. We need to get going. We have so much to talk about. There's sass. Let's just embrace the sass for today. We're leaning into Judge A being over it. Because tomorrow we need to talk about Britney Spears. But today we're talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. One more time.
Hey there. If we haven't met yet, I'm Emily D. Baker, the badass lawyer and everyone's favorite legal commentator. I'm the host of The Emily Show, and I break down the legal shit behind the news and pop culture stories we all want to talk about. I have been a licensed attorney for over 15 years, but this is not legal advice. I should warn you, I'm a big fan of the cursey words. This channel is where the law nerds unite to talk about facts, not fuckery.
First of all, I have to plug things because sometimes I remember to do them. Look, I am on a mission. We're on a mission. There's over 14,000 of you here. We can make stuff happen. I'm letting you know that we made Would Daddy Stack trend on Twitter. We can make this happen. If you are not already subscribed to my Quick Bits channel where I put up just the Quick Bits, please come on over and do that. Emily, are you ready to share your screen? No. Whop. Quick Bits is my other YouTube channel, one of my other YouTube channels. Quick Bits houses all of the things, all the shorts, and then trim down just the story that you want to see from some of the other topics that we cover. I am at 91,000 subs over on Quick Bits. It would be so lovely. It would be so lovely if we could sometime in the near future hit 100K. I would just love that so much. So I'm letting you know, Quick Bits is over there when you want quick stuff, because some of you are not subbed over there. Some of you are not subbed over here, which is fine. But some of you are not subbed over there, and some of you do not use the TikToks or the Instagrams where I put these. So I have made sure that they go over there. So if you do not want to give the overlords at, TikTok or Meta your info, you're already here on the YouTubes. The Google overlords already know you. So if you would like to join the Quick Bits, yes, it's on the YouTubes. If you would like to join the Quick Bits, it is over there on the YouTubes, because if you're already here, they already know the things. I'm sure a lot of you are already subbed, but created it as a place to put just the fast things and make sure that you didn't have to be on any other social platform. Some of you don't want to be on other social platforms. I get it. But there are times I'm just like, we need to talk really fast. So that is over there. I wanted to look for one more story. We're going to do a real quick other story because it's going to lead into next week's podcast. Some of you are following this story. Some of you are not. So let me pull that up because it's crazy and I haven't had a chance to get through all of it. But let me swoop. Let us do just a quick bit real quick because this happened today and it's freaking wild. Are you guys following the Alec Murdaugh case yet? I know that those of you in South Carolina are like, we have been following this for so long. If you have not been following this yet, I have podcast episodes about it. It is the craziest shit I have ever seen because it reads like you can't make this up. This attorney is now charged with the murder of his wife and son. But when you look at this case and you look at the timeline of this case, their housekeeper died under suspicious circumstances. He's alleged to have stolen the money from the housekeeper's family. He's alleged to have stolen money from other clients. He hired a hitman to kill him. The hitman tried and failed. So he got in trouble for hiring someone to kill him. The person who he hired to kill him also got in trouble. And now he's just been indicted for killing his wife and son. This is the son that is also alleged to have been behind the car, behind the steering wheel of a boat that killed one of their friends. The timeline on this is so wild, but it involves a lawyer fall from grace, stealing money from clients, a number of people dead under suspicious circumstances, him hiring someone to take him out, failing at that, and then getting prosecuted for it, and now him getting prosecuted for the death of his wife and son. And he has a remaining son whose mother and brother are deceased and whose father is likely going to be in prison for the rest of his life. It's the craziest shit ever. I feel horrible for the son. Just horrible for the remaining son. It's so crazy. Oh yeah, there's also drugs. There's also a friend of the family who might have been in a relationship with one of the sons who died under suspicious circumstances and might have, these are still allegations, but might have died because it was a gay relationship. It's crazy. And that case has been opened again. Somebody said, wait, he hired a hitman to kill himself. Yes, it's illegal to do, by the way. Yes, he hired a hitman to kill himself because the insurance payout would have gone to his remaining son. Yep. He was injured by the hitman, but not killed. It's the craziest stuff. It's the craziest thing. So I have covered this case and the timeline. I have continued to be like, we're getting back to it. We're getting back to it because more has happened. We're getting back to it. We're getting back to it. And we have not gotten back to it, but we will be. So today, a grand jury, and this is disgraced attorney Alex Murdaugh. It does absolutely sound like a Lifetime mini series. It's crazy. It's like you cannot make up all of the crap that has happened. Emily, are you going to People because they so generously quoted you today? Obviously. Media, if you're friendly with me, I'll be friendly with you. If you do disingenuous bullshit, I will call disingenuous bullshit. I like People. I do. I like People quite a lot. So, Murdaugh is now indicted by the grand jury in South Carolina. By the way, his family were like the top prosecutors in the area for generation on generation back to like 1920 something. So this is like Southern, old family, old money, perhaps above the law type of stuff. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Somebody's like, if a TV writer wrote this, it gets sent back. It probably would. Yeah. If a TV writer wrote this, it would be rejected. Yeah, Liv, it would. They'd be like, that's too much. No one's going to believe this. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. People confirms that Murdaugh 54 has been charged with 2 counts of murder. I also saw this confirmed by Chanley Painter from Court TV, who is there in South Carolina. I went to South Carolina recently for a Dave concert, loved it the most. It was so much fun. We got rained on excessively, but I loved it. There's an amazing Big Bad Breakfast there. Loved. To the crew at the Big Bad Breakfast in South Carolina, you know who you are. I love you. Thank you. Anyway, so great. Charges were handed down Thursday morning. Murdaugh made national news in June 2021 when he said he came home and found his wife, Maggie, 52, and their son, Paul, 22, gunned down on their 1,700 acre estate. That's not small. In the small town of Islandton, South Carolina. The mother and son had been shot with 2 different guns and were found outside the home near the dog kennels. Murdaugh was named as a person of interest in the murders, according to his attorneys, the wife and son. Alec Murdaugh already faces 81 other charges unrelated to the killings. Most of the charges are for alleged financial crimes, including misappropriating money from his law firm, defrauding clients of funds, and computer crimes. We haven't even gotten into all of those yet. We've gotten into just the top of those. The thing is, in this case, here's what I appreciate in this case. The law firm in this case, when they found out about it, the law firm paid the money back to the clients and sued him directly. They paid the money back and they sued him and said, we're not doing any of this. Good on you, law firm. They put up a huge statement. They were like, WTF, no way, this is not okay. I appreciate the law firm's response. The law firm responded so well in this case. Most of the charges are for alleged financial crimes, including misappropriating money from his law firm, defrauding clients of funds, and computer crimes. Authorities allege that he also defrauded the family of his former housekeeper of a $4.5 million insurance settlement after she died in a mysterious slip and fall accident at his home. Her children, the literal children of their deceased housekeeper. Bro. After the murders of his wife and son, Murdaugh made news again when he allegedly tried to stage his own death so that his one surviving son, Buster, 26, would benefit from a $10 million life insurance settlement. Well, People's just covering this very well. He was criminally charged in connection with the alleged botched suicide for hire plot. I mean, technically it's a murder for hire, but I guess if you're trying to end yourself, it becomes that. According to, it's really just insurance fraud at that point as well. According to prosecutors, his associate, Curtis Eddie Smith, shot him on the side of the road, but the shooting was unsuccessful, and Murdaugh suffered only superficial wounds. I had a friend with a case where the individual got shot in the head and only had like a flesh wound because they literally had a thick skull, and that was that. So, Rachel, we always do other stories. Always. So it's okay. You're welcome to bounce. We always do other stories. And this one is fascinating. And if you watch on YouTube, it'll be time-stamped later. You don't have to yell about it. And on Facebook, if you yell about it with all caps, you'll also get yeeted because we yeet. So just a reminder. So the shooting was unsuccessful. Murdaugh suffered only superficial wounds. Smith has pleaded not guilty in connection with that case. That dude is also going down with that case because you can't. It's illegal. You can't take money to kill someone. Murdaugh's currently being held on a $7 million bond on this case. It's unclear if the additional bond will be added with the new charges. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So we will absolutely be covering this in next week's podcast as it unfolds. I'm going to go pull the indictment. They originally had looked into him for the murder of his wife and son. I don't know what has changed, and I don't know what has shifted that they went to a grand jury and got this indictment, but evidence was presented to a grand jury and they got the indictment. So, in a statement from his attorneys, they say that Murdaugh loved his son and wife deeply, is innocent, and plans to fight the charges. It was very clear from day one that law enforcement and the attorney general prematurely concluded that Alec was responsible for the murder of his wife and son, but we know that Alec did not have any motive whatsoever to murder them. We are immediately filing a motion for a speedy trial. We are requesting the attorney general turn over all evidence within 30 days, as is required by law, and we demand to have the trial within 60 days of receiving that notice. They're like, try it now then. And this is probably why the case went to a grand jury, to give them a little bit more time to prep the case before they filed it. So I hope the prosecution's ready for this. I saw questions about what's a grand jury. Not a dumb question at all. Not a rat. Also not a dumb question. A grand jury. So y'all, in the US, there's a couple ways to do things. In the US, you can see a crime happen and arrest someone. Be like, oh, that happened. If the police are called and it's like, this person came here and robbed this, and they find the person, they can arrest them immediately when the crime happens. And then that can either be filed immediately and you get held, or it can be rejected. It gets investigated more and you get held. In some state cases and other federal cases, the cases can be investigated while a person's out of custody or in custody on something else. And then it can be brought before a grand jury. A grand jury is a procedure where the evidence is presented on a very low standard. In some states, they do preliminary hearings where both the parties are present and the judge decides there's enough to hold the person over to trial. More likely than not that this person did the thing that we're going to hold them in custody for or hold them over for trial for. In the grand jury, you have a literal jury, like a criminal or a civil jury, but the standard is preponderance. It's very low. Is it more likely that this person did this thing? And then you present the evidence to the jury. There are rules for a grand jury, but the defense and the defendant are not there. And the defense and the defendant not being there means that there are rules for what the prosecutors have to follow, because they have to present both sides to get to the grand jury indictment. Grand jury indictments are often sealed in secrecy, and that's because once the grand jury indictment comes out, that's when they go and arrest somebody. Indictments are very common. They are very easy to obtain, and if it's very rare that a grand jury does not indict someone. So that is why that is going forward that way, and it's really not unusual. Is a grand jury regular people? Yes, a grand jury is just regular folks. So regular folks. And with that, a grand jury can be convened depending on the location. A grand jury is convened. Sometimes they will serve for like one Friday a week, or one Friday a week. Only one Friday in a week, Emily. They will serve like just on Fridays for a month or more, where they hear lots of different cases. And that can be at the state level or the federal level. So no defense is presented during a grand jury. Exculpatory evidence is presented during a grand jury. If there's exculpatory evidence, there are rules about that. But the defense attorney's not there to present a defense. But that generally you don't get a defense at a preliminary hearing anyway. So it is a very preliminary procedure to indict someone. And once that indictment is handed down, then the person is generally arrested, or if they are in custody, the additional charges are handed down. Jan Martin said, I got to serve on a grand jury for 18 months. That happens depending on where you are. 6 months in our county. So depending on where you are, if you're federal or state, you can end up serving on a grand jury for quite a long time. And you generally do that once a week or once a month. So it just depends. It just depends. All right. Let us get moving into something else. Exculpatory evidence is evidence that shows that the person didn't do it. there is a benefit to showing a grand jury things that that are beneficial and harmful to the prosecution, because if you don't and you indict them, you still need to vet the rest of your case. So that's what's going on there. I am going to there. I saw some comments that there was something going on Facebook. So I'm going to go over there and make sure, because, Facebook is a little bit different in the way that we do our streams, and make sure that we don't have problems with it. But, I will go and do that real quick. So Facebook audience, I am coming. Do not worry. I've got to figure out how to, I don't always do Facebook the same way. The comments are a little bit harder for me to go see. So let me go do that real quick, and I will take care of it. So yes, we will do that for the Facebook audience. Thank you. And sorry, it is harder over on Facebook a little bit, but I will take care of it real quick as soon as I can. So, so I will keep an eye on that. So let's see. We will keep an eye. We will keep an eye over there on Facebook. Thank you so much for letting me know. Yeah. It is different than, it is a little bit different than what we get on YouTube, because it's moderated differently. So it's fair to share that with you guys over on Facebook. The kids on Facebook, mom's coming. Yep, mom's keeping an eye. So if we need to yeet, we will yeet, but it is a little bit harder for me to do. So anyway, that is what that is. So, all right, let us move on from Murdaugh. It's just so wild. So let us move on. We have so much. Oh, we have so much to talk about. Thank you guys for subbing to Quick Bits. I appreciate it. Let's swoop. Y'all, there is so much. Stephanie, this is exactly on point. Thank you for the compliments. I will absolutely cover the Unsealed stuff when it starts coming out. We're going to go over tonight what is being unsealed. Diana, it's really Elaine FFS at this point. Just Elaine FFS. A handband said hello from North Carolina. First time catching you live. Love your channel and how you explain things. Thank you. I do too. Hello from the Sunshine Coast, Australia. First time catching a stream. Been watching for a while, all the way through the trial. You're welcome. Thank you. Good morning, Australia. It's good to see you. Lily. Hello. Do you think JD's side not putting in stop orders so Amber Heard can just bury herself in her lies? I don't know. I truly don't know the thought. The thought might be like, it'll just make it worse. Hi from Bermuda. Hello, Melissa. Abigail says allegedly the hitman was also the drug dealer. That's what the hitman has said in his statements. Do you plan to cover the NBC quote-unquote documentary featuring Elaine that premiered yesterday? I talked briefly about it on the members-only live stream today that will be up on Patreon soon. It's uploading for over there. But the thing I did notice, I'm going to just swoop and get into this. I need to look at it one more time, because the NBC interview was really everything NBC's kind of already said. It's 30 minutes long. It has appalling views on YouTube. I don't know if anybody really cares in hearing NBC one more time be like, people on TikTok made fun of the trial. Okay. Some of the headlines I've seen today are, well, let me swoop and I'll talk about it real quick. Let me just swoop and we'll just talk about it real quick. We'll do it now. We're just doing it now because it's my live stream and I can. The NBC documentary on this case is called like A Marriage on Trial or something. But Elaine Bredehoff gave an interview. The interview that she gave was via Zoom, and she is in the most appallingly pink room that I have ever seen. I don't understand why the room is so pink. It is such a weird thing. Like, why is it so pink? Why is it so pink? Why is it so pink? Why? Why is it so pink? It was so strange. So Umbridge gave an interview from a pink room. The NBC numbers look bad, and they should know that people aren't interested in it, and that's fair. So that's just fair. With that, I watched some of it. Yes, Umbridge's office is pink. I'm going to have to take a screenshot of it and share it. I don't see one on the interwebs. I can't believe nobody did that. I will do that later. But the interview is on YouTube, on NBC's channel, and elsewhere. There were not china plates on the wall with cats on them that I could see. But I can't say what I didn't see. But she's full Umbridge. And I can't imagine that it was pink after the trial. I can only imagine that it was Umbridge pink before and during. It was weird. But the trial seemed to be the TikTok somehow influenced the trial. TikTok influenced the court of public opinion. TikTok didn't influence the trial. People can try to make fetch happen all they want, but it's not going to happen. So I was looking at some of these headlines today, and some of them are just, NBC documentary. Where is the last one I was looking at? I want to take a look. It was just so ridiculous. Somebody said, I think it's been pink since it was Dusty Rose in 1986, probably. It probably was. The headline is, where did it go? Where did my little news headline go? Oh, it was on Google. Did I close all my tabs? Yes. Emily, why? Because I close all my tabs all the time. And now I can't find what I'm looking for. There it is. Last visited. Amber Heard's defamation judgment should scare social media users. That's the headline from NBC News. That's the headline. Amber Heard's defamation judgment should scare social media users. Let's just put this up on the screen. We're gonna steal Hoag's bit for a minute. Sorry, Hoag. We're gonna talk about a headline before we talk about all the legal stuff. Let's just throw this up on the screen and talk about why it's stupid. This is just so bullshit. This is such a bullshit headline. I'm so tired of these headlines that are just flagrantly wrong. NBC, no, sir. No, ma'am. Amber Heard's defamation judgment should scare social media users. Under the politics and policy opinion, at least it's kind of an opinion. The decision could have massive impact on anyone retweeting things online, particularly those participating in campaigns like Me Too. No. And this is the documentary. This is the come to the the world's on fire headlines. No. And this is by Joanne Sweeney, professor of law at the University of Louisville's Louis D. Brandeis School of Law. What are you doing? What is why? This is this. Based on the jury's finding, anytime someone posts a link or references a defamatory story with even a few non-defamatory words of approval, they have published a defamatory statement. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not what the law says. That's not what the case law said. That's not what happened, and it's just not true. That's inaccurate. What the fuck? So if Heard did not actually write the statements, even though she was listed as the author, how was she found to have defamed Depp? The answer, at least for Depp's lawyers and presumably the jury, is that Heard republished the article when she tweeted a link to it. She is therefore liable for the content of the article as if she had written the whole thing herself. First of all, she is the author. This is not just a regular republication. Second of all, the law said in Virginia very clearly, just sharing out a link with nothing more is not republication. This is contrary of what the law actually the fuck says. But it's couched in a way that it's like, this is what it says. This isn't what the law says. This is an opinion to over sensationalize this. And it's just so legally inaccurate. The maelstrom of reporting on the recent Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial overlooked key aspects of the case. Heard did not actually write any of the statements that formed the basis of the defamation claims against her. That's false. That's absolutely fucking false. She said she wrote the article. The headline is the only issue, but this is a completely inaccurate statement from someone I can't believe even watched a minute of this trial. Not even a minute of it. Thankfully, this is kind of loosely couched as opinion, but not really. This is under politics and policy. Why? But it doesn't clearly say opinion. Down here, it just says professor of law. So people are going to be like, oh, professor of law, you must know what the fuck you're talking about. Nope. Not in this case. Specifically, it was made clear during the trial that the ACLU had written the article. No, that's not what happened. The ACLU wrote it with her. I wasn't even going to cover this tonight, and now I'm so glad I did. I'm already feeling better. Are we feeling better together? Okay, good. It was made clear during the trial that the ACLU had written the article, which contained 2 of the 3 statements at issue. The 3rd statement at issue, that headline of the article, was written by a Washington Post editor. That's not what the fuck that said. Oh no, they're not even talking about Waldman's statements. They're not even covering Waldman's statements. Until the Depp Heard case, the republication standard had traditionally been limited in most states by the single publication rule. Talk about Virginia. Talk about the law in Virginia. Because the law in Virginia is the only law that fucking matters to this. Which states that multiple copies of the same libelous publication cannot be counted as separate defamatory publications unless each publication was intended to reach a different audience, which is exactly what the jury determined here. It was on the fucking verdict form for the jury. It was told to them in the jury instructions that they had to determine that the publication was to reach a different audience. Amber Heard's Twitter audience. A different audience. That's actually what the jury was told in this case. That's what happened. Did you look at the jury forms? No. This rule was created to protect newspapers from multiple defamation lawsuits stemming from an article that appeared in every paper published that day. The paper is not being sued. The author is. The person who wrote the byline is who is being sued. You can see the single publication rule in the instruction to the members of the jury in the Depp Heard trial. Oh, so you saw it and you're still being disingenuous. Cool. So you knew. So you know it's there. Cool. Whose members were told they could find that Amber Heard republished the article if she distributed it with the goal of reaching a new audience or affirmatively reiterated the statement. The jury instructions also stated that merely including a hyperlink does not constitute the republication, though adding content to the link might. However, the instruction did not elaborate on what adding content meant. You know why? Because it's up for the jury to decide. It's up for the jury to decide. This all undermines the point of your headline that the jury actually did what they're supposed to do and followed the law. And this is the tweet. Today, I published this op-ed in the Washington Post about the women who are channeling their rage. I'm channeling my rage at the moment at this article. And then it has opinion. Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence. This Does this add content? Does this say she wrote it? Yep. So why should users of social media be afraid? If you just share an article, which I've done today on Twitter, and you just retweet it, it's not a republication. If you say, this person said this about this, you're not defaming someone. She wrote it. And she claimed that she wrote it. She claimed that she was so proud of it that she framed it. Good. Be proud of your work. The jury found it was defamatory. What the fuck? Heard's tweet linking the post read, we heard. In her post, Heard didn't mention Depp. No shit. To be fair, though, neither did the article. No shit. Also didn't need to. The tweet itself was not included in the list of statements provided to the jury to determine whether defamation had occurred. Indeed, the tweet is even further removed from Depp, the person claiming to have been defamed. The person found by a jury to have been defamed. There, I fixed it. Then the story itself, because it does not mention Heard's own struggles with domestic violence. Furthermore, it is difficult to imagine how Heard's tweet could have cleared either of the two bars defining the act of republication. This was subject to multiple pretrial motions. And on all of those pretrial motions, the court said it's for a jury to decide if this is republication because it cleared the legal hurdles. Reaching a different audience through a tweet seems ludicrous when the Post website already has international reach. What? Reaching a different audience through a tweet seems ludicrous when the Post website already has international reach. You don't seriously believe that, do you? Like, do you know how the internet works? Because the people who follow Amber Heard on Twitter are unlikely to be the same audience that is on the Washington Post's front page of their website every day looking at news. It is highly unlikely that that is an overlapping audience. So much of an audience that follows a celebrity is looking for what that celebrity says. It's a very good point that the Post is paywalled, and apparently the Washington Post audience is everyone. It's not me. This is intended to reach an audience specifically interested in her, not the same audience that is reached by the Post's website. Are you kidding me? In fact, other cases have found that social media posts don't change the reach when the original publication already has a large audience. We don't know that in this case because you know why? They didn't share any of that information or analytics. That wasn't in this case. The jury's finding in this case goes against existing precedent. No, it doesn't. That posting on social media does not republish an article but merely expands the reach of the public. What? It's inconsistent within the same two sentences. Other cases have found social media posts don't change the reach. This jury's finding goes against existing precedent. Posting on social media and does not republish when it merely expands the reach. Which is it? Does it expand the reach or not? The jury decided the facts here. The facts was it reached a new audience. Similarly, there's no reiteration of the defamatory language. And again, this decision could have a massive impact on anyone retweeting online if they wrote the article that contained the defamation and republished it. This is a highly fact-specific case. Highly fact-specific case. Particularly those participating in campaigns like Me Too, in which many tweets are merely statements of approval or sympathy with another story. That's different. If that person's story ends up being found defamatory, is every social media post referencing it a separate defamatory statement? No, it's not. That's not what I wanted to do. If you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write me too as a reply to this tweet. Okay. Me too, suggested by a friend. If all women who have been sexually harassed or assaulted wrote me too as a status, we might give people a sense of the magnitude of the problem. That's not defamatory. That's a statement. After all, the tweet by actor Alyssa Milano dramatically bolstered the Me Too movement back in 2017 states, and then it says what I just said above. Milano later said her tweet was inspired by media coverage of Harvey Weinstein. If she had linked to the original New York Times article and it had later been found to be defamatory, the standard set in Depp Heard could extend defamation liability to her and potentially every other person who responded, tens of thousands of people. That's disingenuous logic. These are the types of headlines that are killing me. This is a highly fact-specific case where the author not retweeted, but republished the article in a tweet and said, I wrote this today. The thing that was found to be defamatory was the republication of the headline. This is not a factually flawed verdict. And that's a perfect lead-in to talking about Judge A's finding here. Because this type of coverage is absolutely wild to me. Social media users should be scared. Are they trying to turn the tide against Johnny Depp or pro Amber Heard by trying to shame everyone on the internet or wag their finger and say, this precedent's bad for you? No, it's not. It's not. That's just untrue. So let's look at this order denying the pretrial motion, shall we? I'm gonna zoom. I feel like we need to talk about the underlying motion real quick. Yeah, we should do that. We should do that first. I'm so annoyed. Let's get into Elaine Bredehoff's argument with regard to Juror 15 real quick, shall we? Let's remind ourselves of the arguments that came before, lest we forget what they were saying. Yes, these are arguments unknown to the law. I see a Jay said they want us to stop going elsewhere for news. I think that might be it. Watch out. Y'all are going to get sued for defamation. No, you're not. It's just absolute fuckery is what it is. The chat knows she admitted writing it, period. And the ACLU helped, which is why Depp's team called them co-conspirators. Let's look at Elaine's motion. I'm so annoyed. Kaylee said, that's a great point. What is the goal in that article? To scare people on social media and be like, ooh, this case is bad for us. This case is bad. This is a bad case. This sets a bad precedent. No. Morgan. Thank you. Morgan in the chat said, Mom, pick me up, please. The mainstream media is up to fuckery again. All you people on social media, be afraid. Be scared. Stop telling me to be scared of shit. I'm scared of how disingenuous the media's gotten. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of the attempted manipulation and gaslighting of people. I'm scared that that's not even couched as opinion, that that's a law professor giving an expert opinion that's so fucking off basis with what was determined in that trial. Did you all watch the trial? Why is NBC so deeply invested in this case? Who owns NBC? Do I need to start going up the corporate barking ladder to figure out who owns up the chain? Good God. I'm sorry, I need lip gloss. I need lip gloss before we go any further. I need to send that article to Hogue and let him also flip out about it. Ugh. The chat's giving me life, though. The chat is absolutely giving me life. Somebody said it's giving vomitous vibes. I saw that. I was told it was vomitous vibes. Leanne G, that's exactly what it's giving. That's exactly what it's giving. Hey, Marty, you are welcome to yeet yourself. I say fuck. I do. But thank you for calling me young. I'm actually fairly old, not young at all. So, but thank you. Let me see. So NBC is just lost it for me. It's just lost it for me. So with that, I went over to the Facebooks so I could time people out, because I think we're just done with trolling over on the Facebook. So let us get back to what I was trying to get to. This is the thing. I love the Facebook audience, and a lot of you don't watch on YouTube and prefer to watch on Facebook, but it's a little harder because they don't have the same controls that YouTube has. So I apologize for that. Because it's a push-pull with that. All right, let's get into this part of the motion. The court should investigate whether Juror 15 properly served on the juror. On the juror panel list sent to counsel before voir dire, 5 days now we've learned before voir dire, the clerk's office noted that the individual who would later be designated Juror 15 had a birth year of 1945. So the juror panel list said that. Juror 15, however, was clearly born later than 1945. So we knew that. Publicly available info demonstrates he appears to be born in 1970. The discrepancy raises the question of whether Juror 15 actually received a summons for jury duty and was properly vetted by the court to serve on the jury. The court points out that any error in the information shown on the jury panel shall not be grounds for mistrial or assignable error as appeal. They keep trying to get around that, but they can't. They can't get around that at all. So the clerk's office has a statutory obligation to verify the identity of Juror 15. No, actually, the lawyers do. But because Juror 15 was not born in 1945, it appears his identity could not have been verified. This is the crux of their argument. This is the rest of their footnote. Ms. Heard recognizes that Virginia Code 8.01-353 states, quote, any error in the information shown on the jury panel shall not be grounds for a mistrial or assignable as error on appeal. And the parties in the case shall be responsible for verifying the accuracy of such information. It's on you, boo. But the apparent error in the jury information form relating to Juror 15 is not the basis for Ms. Heard's concerns. It's not. It is the potential that Juror 15 was not, in fact, the same individual that the court assigned as Juror 15, a fake, and or was not verified by the court clerk's office as required by Virginia law. This would warrant setting aside the verdict and ordering a new trial, which we said no to at the beginning. Nope. Jenny, you don't have to apologize for being on Facebook. It just takes me a little bit of time. To yeet the trolls on Facebook. It's a little bit harder. We don't have the same control on Facebook, but I'm working on it. Yes, the juror, Your Honor, the juror's a rando juror. Ah! Let's see. We saw what the response from Ben Chu was. Let's see what the response is from the judge. Judge A, we stand. For all of you saying the document's a little blurry, yep. Sure is. Order. This cause came before the court upon defendant Amber Heard's post-trial motions. There were others, by the way. We went through them. Oh, I should go through them again. Hold on. We went through all of them. I'm going to just remind you what they all are so you know. Let's go. Can we just... There we go. We're just going to go through our table of contents so you know what the main arguments were. The damages awarded by the jury were unsupported by the evidence and the law. The verdicts on the complaint and counterclaim are inconsistent and therefore should be set aside. The First Amendment bars recovery for defamation by implication when the statements at issue are true on their face and involve a public figure or matters of public concern. The jury's finding of defamation by implication with respect to the op-ed headline statement is contrary to the law and unsupported by the facts. Oh, just like they're arguing over on NBC. Mr. Depp did not present evidence of actual malice. Mr. Depp did not present sufficient evidence to support a finding of defamation by innuendo. Those, by the way, should have been together. That and this actual malice should have gone below that, but whatever. The court should conduct an investigation of juror number 15 and whether jury service was proper and due process was protected. Those are all the arguments. So now comes the time to review this. After reviewing defendant's post-trial motions, plaintiff's opposition, and the relevant statutes and case law, it is therefore ordered as follows. Defendant Amber Laura Heard's post-trial motions 1 through 6 are denied for the reasons stated on the record. Defendant Amber Laura Heard's post-trial motion 7 is likewise denied for the reasons outlined below. You know why it's outlined below? Because the judge is so fucking annoyed that she is going to take a moment to tell you why you're bad. Judge A is like, now comes before the court of public opinion, Judge A, on why Elaine's motion is stupid and should not have been brought. This motion is a fucking catastrophe. Let us go. Into the unknown. The purpose of voir dire is to obtain a fair and impartial jury. Footnote 1. That's the reason. Voir dire, however, you find a lawyer, they're going to pronounce it in their own way, but voir dire is what I tend to do. Sometimes it's voir dire. Either way, I do it badly. Voir dire is necessary to ascertain, quote, whether any juror has an interest in the case or any bias or prejudice in relation to it, and that he, in fact, stands indifferent on the cause. Hey, are you married to one of the parties or participants in the case? Are you besties with the doctor that's testifying? Do you live next door to one of the police officers and like them very much and believe everything they say? Have you learned about this case on social media? Can you be fair? Do you know too much about this case already? The summons was issued to juror 15, listed his legal name and address, and no birth date was noted. Y'all, it listed his legal name and address. So juror 15 was properly summoned to court. Name, address, no birth date. Chat, you said this. You said this more than once. There were a number of you in Virginia in the chat that said, I've been summoned to court in Virginia and I've never seen a birth date on it. Many of you said, I've been summoned. I've never seen a birth date. No birth date. So if there are two people living in the same household with the same name and address, would the 77-year-old assume that they were the one that were called for jury duty? Or would the one who was born in 1970 assume that they were the one called for jury duty? And I think if I'm juror 15, I'm being like, you mean I didn't have to do this for fucking 7 weeks? I could have just sent my dad, who would have probably gotten yeeted based on age. Really? Damn it. Damn it. The court has pulled juror 15's jury questionnaire, attached as redacted, filed under seal. Juror 15 completed the jury questionnaire as himself, filling in his proper birth date. Oh, so he didn't lie on the form. It was in the juror questionnaire. The information presented on the juror questionnaire matches the information Juror 15 provided to the court. Oh, he said that. Juror 15 was vetted by the court on the record and met the statutory requirements for service. The parties also questioned the jury panel for a full day and informed the court that the jury panel was acceptable. You accepted the jury, Elaine, and you can't tell me, I will not believe easily that these legal teams that had so many people did not have someone dedicated to vetting the jury. They had 5 days and probably a weekend. So they would have had likely 7 days to research this jury. And if they didn't have a consultant per se, they would have had an attorney dedicated to this. Someone researched this juror. They knew. They knew. There's no way they didn't know. You don't get to like put it in your pocket and later be like, ta-da, there was an issue. Use it or fucking lose it, Elaine. Have you not done a trial? For fuck's sake. But let us continue. The parties questioned the jury panel for a full day and informed the court that the jury panel was acceptable. Therefore, due process was guaranteed and provided. Yeah, process happened. There was process. The process was you do voir dire. Due process was guaranteed and provided to all parties in this litigation. Voir dire was conducted in a fair and impartial manner with the court and both parties examining the potential jurors. There is no evidence of fraud or wrongdoing. Stop trying to undermine the system, Elaine. You vetted the juror. You know what you did. Don't come up here and say, I did something wrong. Further, the defendant was provided the jury list 5 days prior to the commencement of trial and knew or should have known about any mistake at any time during the 7-week pendency of this trial. She had every opportunity to object to or to voir dire on the issue. Excuse me, Your Honor, can we approach sidebar? On the jury roll, it says that juror number 15 was born in 1945. On their juror questionnaire that we have in front of us, this juror has identified to us that they were born in 1970. Can we inquire about the discrepancy? They had all of this information. All of it. All of it. All of it. All of it. So, parties generally must make objections at the time of the ruling or order is made to put the court on notice that the issue is meant to be preserved. Footnote 3. See this case. Use it or lose it. Despite defendant's assertion in footnote 9 of her motion, the code clearly states, the code, stick to the code. Any error in the information shown on such copy of the jury panel shall not be grounds for a mistrial or assignable as error on appeal. You can't mistrial it, you can't appeal it. And the parties in the case shall be responsible for verifying the accuracy of such information. It's your job. Emphasis added. Consequently, defendant as well as plaintiff had an affirmative obligation, a duty, if you will, to ensure the accuracy of the information provided for the jury panel. A party cannot wait until receiving an adverse verdict to object. You can't just wait till you lose and then say, oh, but this happened. Shut the fuck up with that. Just stop. You don't have to go away mad. Just go away. It's just so annoying. But the judge feels like this is what happened too. And this is what I said. I hope this isn't it. But it feels like they held on to this so they would have something to object to. Something to object to. A party cannot wait until receiving an adverse verdict to object. That's what it feels like they did. It feels like they held on to this little tidbit to try to pull a rabbit out of a hat. It's not going to work. The issue has been waived. Even if arguendo, and by the way, when the issue's been waived, you don't get to bring it up. You don't get to argue about it. The issue has been waived. Even if arguendo, we love a good arguendo. Thanks, Judge A. Even if arguendo, the objection has not been waived, which it has been. Objections to any alleged discrepancies in jury lists and any legal disabilities of potential jurors must be made in accordance with Virginia Code section the one we just read. That section provides in relevant part, unless objection to such irregularity or disability is made pursuant to the subsequent A herein, and unless it appears the irregularity was intentional or that it caused, or that it is such as to probably, God, that's a word salad. Apologies. This typeface is very hard for me to read. Pursuant to subsection A herein, and unless it appears that the irregularity was intentional or that the irregularity or disability be such as to probably cause injustice, it caused prejudice in some way, it caused harm. In a civil case, the party making the objection, then such irregularity or disability shall not be a cause for summoning a new jury panel or juror, or for setting aside a verdict or granting new trial. The law is literally on point. The law literally says it. Literally spells it the fuck out. It's in the code that we went over. What was it? Yesterday? Tuesday? We just did this in the other motion. But there's more. Furthermore, while parties must make this objection while following the above procedure at the time it fucking happens, the party moving under this code section must provide some evidence of prejudice. It has to harm you. Defendant has neither followed the proper procedure nor shown evidence of prejudice. Do your shit, Elaine. You didn't object at the right time, and you haven't shown that it harmed you because you voir dired the juror and accepted them. Stop. Defendant does not allege Juror 15's inclusion on the jury prejudiced her in any way. She just doesn't like the result. The juror was vetted, sat for the entire jury, deliberated, and reached a verdict against you. The only evidence before this court is that this juror and all jurors followed their oaths, the court's instructions and orders. This court is bound by the competent decision of the jury. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. I'm sorry. It doesn't say that. There is a footnote, though. See Yellow Cab Corp. Noting the possibilities of prejudice are not sufficient to overturn a jury verdict, and the orderly administration of justice should not be overturned absent a clear showing of prejudice. This did not hurt you. Oh, and this order is final in bold and all caps will allow it. Done, 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 says Judge A. Final. Juror questionnaire. Employer, self, IT management. Do you own real estate in Fairfax County or the city of Fairfax? Yes. What's your date of birth? 1970. Vetted. Process happened. They're a qualified juror. And look, possible exemptions. Check the appropriate box if you wish to claim an exemption. I am 70 years of age or older and do not wish to serve. Date of birth must be provided. You can say that you're over 70. That box is not checked. All this stuff is checked. I go here. You can ask for ADA accommodations if needed. It has the line. There's all kinds of exceptions. They didn't check any, and they signed the thingy. That's it. That's it. There's no there. Stop trying to make fetch happen. This is all bun, no burger, and it sucks. This is literally the meme of Judge Ramsey holding the bread against Elaine's head, saying, "What are you?" This is what this motion is. All of the post-trial motions are denied. Here's the thing. I did read footnote 4. I read all the footnotes. I think I read all the footnotes. Yeah, I read footnote 4. I did that. It happened. So, this judge is done. But there is still time. What day is it? There's still 10 days left for an appeal to be filed. So, it's so funny on YouTube when people talk about commentary channels or drama commentary, talk about them reaching. Elaine has reached more than any drama commentary channel I've ever watched. This reaches more than anything I've ever seen. It reaches more than Elastigirl. It's just fucking crazy. Especially now that we know all of the information. They knew all of this information when they filed the motion. How do you do that? How do you file this motion knowing all of this? Look at your client, be a big attorney, put on your attorney pants and look at your client and say, "No, this is not what I'm doing. It doesn't warrant a motion. I am not bringing it up." No. Be an attorney and tell your client no. The other motions are misguided, but they're at least legitimate motions. They're trying. But this Juror 15 shit is not even close. And they knew all of it. Say no. Preserve what's left of your reputation at this point. If for nothing else, then you probably still have to work in the future. I have tried so hard to give Elaine the benefit of the doubt, and I just am done. This Juror 15 shit, at first I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then the more information that comes out, the more we're just like, why would you even put that on paper in front of a court with your bar number on it? No. And it gets worse. Let's talk about the unsealing, shall we? Let's unseal some shit. And then we'll get to questions. Let's do it. Let's talk about why unsealing matters and why it's going to keep Emily busy for way too long. Is there a lot more shit to read? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. There's going to be more shit to read. All right. Order to unseal. Let's crack into it. During the sentencing, Emily, your brain defaulted into criminal language. Yes, that motion was criminal. It put my brain there. During the entry of final judgment on the 26th. Ren Baby, which platform did you DM it on? I will go look on Twitter. To see if we can find it real quick. My DMs are generally... Oh, it is on Twitter. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, Ren Baby. Not only for coming through, but also you didn't have to super chat. You could have just noted it to the mods. They would have let me know. When we talked about Elaine's umbrage room, this is Elaine's umbrage room. My lights at least change color. This is the umbrage room color that she gave this interview in for NBC. I don't know when she gave this interview, but the pink is just, it gives umbrage vibes. And it's just, I didn't know there was a pink room when we started calling her umbrage at the beginning of this trial. That's drunk tank pink. It might be. Dusty mauve for the win, possibly. It is a horrible shade of pink. It's absolutely dreadful. So that's the pink that we were talking about. When I saw this, I almost died. You can't make it up. When you nickname an attorney Umbridge because of the vibes that she gives, that she also works, at least somewhat, in a pink room. You just can't make that up. So thank you, Run Baby, for getting Rennie Baby, for getting that to me in the... Thank you. Yay. All right. Where did my motion go? I have it here somewhere. All right. Let's unseal some stuff. Yay. Oh, the natural wood is something. Yeah. Yep. It's the room's a vibe. It's not a vibe I like, but it's a vibe. All right. Order. Order. The protective order in this matter was put into place to protect sensitive information and to ensure an untainted jury. Well, because the media would pick up and run with everything that gets filed, of course, because there's interest in it. In this matter, both litigants sued one another, thereby opening themselves up to the public forum of a jury trial. Amber Heard suing Johnny Depp was a terrible, terrible idea. Very bad. We'll get into that more, I'm sure, as things get unsealed. Court records are public information. The case has now concluded, and therefore the court carefully reviewed all documents that were filed under seal. It appearing to the court that certain filings in this matter should be unsealed, it is there ordered. We're going to go through each thing that's being unsealed. Here's the thing that we need to know. With regard to this, it came up at the last hearing, the hearing to enter the final order. Umbridge was like, wait, what? What do you mean you're unsealing them? And the court's like, they were sealed because of the media attention in this case, not because there was other cause to seal them. And so because they were sealed then, doesn't mean they stay sealed now. So they're getting unsealed. So let's look at what's getting unsealed. And then as these things start popping up on the court's docket, we will go see them. Jury saw all the sealed, no mad outie. These are not things that the jury would have seen. What the jury saw is what we saw. There's nothing that the jury saw. That's not true. There's little that the jury had access to that we did not see. The jury got the evidence that was presented during the trial. But what the jury got that we did not get, well, actually, we did kind of get, but not entirely, is the full audio recordings. Those are on the court's website. If you want to get them, you can get them and go through them. They're available. So all of the evidence is available to the public and has been. This is pre-trial litigation that was sealed because it had information that they didn't want in the general knowledge or in the media because it might impact the jury going forward. So let's see. Order the following documents unsealed. 1, counterclaim plaintiff and defendant's disclosure of expert witnesses. So those are the experts they intend to call. That'll be interesting to look at who they wanted to call and then who did and didn't get called. Plaintiff's motion to compel an independent medical examination of defendant. That was Depp's motion to compel a medical examination of Heard that led to Dr. Curry examining Amber Heard and eating muffins. I mean, I don't think that motion directly led to muffins, but I sure want muffins. Reply memorandum in support of defendant's supplemental plea and bar, page 1. So only one page was sealed. Defendant's motion to compel an independent medical examination of plaintiff. That was denied. This is Heard trying to compel an examination of Depp. And I want to know what was said in that motion. I very, very much do. Second notification of judicial Second notification of judicial notice of adjudicated facts in law impacting this matter. I want to see that too. That's the judge ruling on certain facts. Oh, let me make this bigger. That's the judge ruling on certain facts, saying this is what it is. This is what the law says. Republication is probably in there. Defendant's opposition to motion to compel independent medical examination of defendant. Amber Heard saying, no, you shouldn't get a doctor to examine me. Defendant's memorandum in support of motion to compel Rule 410 examination of plaintiff. Defendant's exhibits to her supplemental plea and bar. Plaintiff's op to defendant's motion to compel examination of plaintiff. Second notification of judicial notice of adjudicated facts in law. Reply memorandum in support of defendant's supplemental plea and bar. Plaintiff's motion to compel defendant to respond to fourth interrogatories, 10th and 11th requests. So that's discovery. Plaintiff's memo in support of omnibus motion to compel defendant to respond to plaintiff's interrogatories. So these are all trying to compel Amber Heard's team to do discovery. Defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion to compel responses to the interrogatory set we just talked about. Defendant's emergency motion for protective order to protect all individuals attending deposition of defendant. So this is about Amber Heard's depo. So there was another depo in 2020 with an emergency protective order, including all exhibits. All the documents are already up. I haven't had a chance to grab them. The way this week's been busy, but I will, and we'll talk about them at some point in the future. Tomorrow night, look, what we're not going to do is bump Britney for another night for Amber Heard. No, we have to talk about the shit that's going down in the Britney case. I rather talk about Britney fighting for her rights against her father than this kind of fuckery going on and on and on. But I am going to download and go through all of these. That's going to happen. For sure. All right. Let's see. Defendant's memoranda in support of motion to compel response to the third RAF's request for admissions and request for productions. Defendant's memorandum supporting motion to compel plaintiff's production of his original devices. Heard wants Depp's original devices and operating system drives and cloud backups of the devices. So all of his data. Defendant's motion to compel plaintiff's production of his original devices. Plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion to compel production of plaintiff's original devices. Defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion to compel further forensic imaging. That's the motion that we didn't get enough on. Hello, Hogue. I see you in the chat. I have an article for you from NBC and a law professor. It's right up your alley, I swear. I'll send it. Defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion to compel further forensic imaging and production and testing data expert documents and expansion of order regarding forensic imaging, plaintiff's 4th, 9th, 12th requests from February 25th, 2025. That's the motion I lost my mind over, and we never got defendant's opposition, and we never saw the judge's order. I want to know everything that has to do with Amber Heard's stuff. Everything. So let us continue. I promised Brenda I will look at all of them. I was yeeting a Facebook troll. I'm sorry. I was trying to yeet. Apparently we've gained enough viewers on Facebook that there are trolls on, and that's a problem too. Gosh, if we're going to keep streaming on Facebook at some point, I'm probably going to have to grab a Facebook specific moderator. We'll do that down the road. All right. Let us continue. Don't tell Hogue not to fall for it. It's totally up Hogue's area of law. It's totally up Hogue's alley for headlines. Don't dissuade him. All right, let's see. Defendant's memorandum in support of motion to compel. Defendant's motion for sanctions precipice. I want to see that. Defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion for sanctions and cross motion for sanctions with exhibits. I want to see that. This is all stuff going on right before trial. Plaintiff's motion for sanctions. All the motions for sanctions. I can't wait to go over them. Defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion for summary judgment regarding the counterclaim. defendant's motions in limine. These are all the motions in limine. We didn't get to see any of them. I want to know what they litigated. I want to know what they litigated in advance of this. Some of it's going, did they ever litigate the text messages that Elaine keeps touting out on social media going, but this text message was kept out. Of course the text message was kept out, Elaine. It's an out-of-court statement. Call the witness and ask them the question. If you want to know why they said what they said, call them. But I want to see all the motions in limine. What were they arguing over? Did they even bring it up? What about the UK trial? Did it come up? And if you want to know my feelings about the UK trial ruling not coming up in this case, it was, I think, last week's episode of the Emily Show podcast. All the motions in limine. Plaintiff's designation and identification of witnesses, defendant's oppositions to the motions, motions for reconsideration. So now we'll learn what the judge ruled. Objections and counter designations, the amount of reading that needs to happen. Corrected designations of depositions, supplemental designations, plaintiff's objections and rebuttal designations, counterclaim designations, or counter designations for trial, memoranda in support of motion to question defendant on prior acts of violence. This is Depp's motion in support of questioning Heard about prior acts of violence. They don't want that unsealed, I'm sure. Motion to seal records. This is Heard's motion to seal records relating to juror identities, unsealed now. Plaintiffs opt to defendant's motion to exclude testimony of Brian Neumeister. Bench memoranda in support of admissions of statements for purposes of medical treatment. So that's a ruling from the bench. Defendant's motion to exclude testimony of Brian Neumeister filed July 7th filed now. What? Further ordered. These documents will remain sealed for the reasons stated below. Thank you, Judge A, for stating why. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Attachment 5 to defendant's disclosure of expert witnesses for containing a home address. Fine. Exhibit E of plaintiff's motion to compel an independent medical examination of defendant for containing personal contact information. Exhibits 3 and 5 of defendant's opt to motion to compel an independent medical examination of defendant for containing sensitive personal medical information. So they unsealed the motion, but they kept sealed some of the exhibits, which is totally fair. Hey, we're going to unseal this. This judge has leaned into transparency in a way that I am so appreciative of. Exhibits 1 through 6 of defendant's memoranda in support for containing medical information. Fine. Attachment 3 to plaintiff's opt to defendant's motion to compel for containing independent medical, for containing a home address. Attachment 11 to the memo in support of the compelling responses for containing personal identifying contact information. More exhibits for containing personal medical information and contact information. Attachment 3 to defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion for sanctions, personal medical information. Attachment 1 through 6, 9 through 10, 12 through 13, and 26 for containing personal information, identifying or personal contact info. Exhibit 25 of defendant's memoranda in support of motions in limine for containing a confidential settlement discussion. Damn it, don't I wish we knew what that was. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know how hard Amber Heard was trying to settle this case. I want to know. And we're not going to get to know because settlement information is supposed to stay private. I think that if Depp had been begging to settle, that information would have magically leaked onto the internet or into a documentary, weirdly. But I am inclined to believe this was Heard trying to settle, not Depp trying to settle, and that was kept out. Because I think that Heard probably had a great interest in trying to settle this case. So, boo. Attachment 4 to the memoranda in support for containing a privilege log with personal identifying information, confidential settlement discussion, personal identifying contact information, personal identifying contact information, on and on and on. Most of this is medical or contact info. But one of them is for containing very interesting settlement information. So any discussions with regard to the confidential settlement of this case is staying sealed. And that's legally appropriate, but I'm curious. I'm curious. Y'all over on Facebook, by the way, hi. There are like 1,000 of you over there. Hello to the Facebooks. Don't forget to like and then follow the Facebook page over there. I don't ask to subscribe because it's not subscribing, but go ahead and like and follow over there too. You guys, I have questions. You have questions. We have questions. We're going to get to questions. We're going to get to super chats. We're going to get to the things. We're going to get to the things because, woo, we've got a lot of reading to do coming up because I'm going to go through all of that stuff. All of it. All of it. We're going to go through all of it. All. But I have questions. You have questions. We have questions. We all have questions. Kimmy said, question. Thank you for identifying your question with a question. And thank you all for identifying questions with a question. It makes it much easier for me to see and to go over. Do you think the judge's decision to unseal everything that she did could have been influenced by the claims about evidence being kept out? Probably not. I think this was always the intention. Judges can be a little bit snarky, but if it's not appropriate to release it, the judge isn't going to release it just because they're like, this was kept out. Question, for the docs that remain sealed, why couldn't the personal contact information just be redacted? That's not what they're doing. And it's really not the court's job to redact things. It's easier to just keep it sealed. So I'm not surprised by that. So I'm going to do some super chats and I'll be popping back and forth between super chats and chat. Just put a question or a Q or whatever in there. Question, do judges write orders like this themselves? I want to imagine Judge A furiously typing her response, fueled by annoyance. What does admonishment sound like, and do lawyers care about it? Yes. But I guess it always depends on the lawyer. So it really depends on the judge. I was a research attorney before I became a district attorney. I would write draft opinions for my judges, and then they would flush out the opinion themselves. They liked writing. Both of the judges I worked for liked writing. So I would give them kind of the points in the cases and a rough guideline, and then they would go through and add things in. So it really depends on how Judge A likes to work. She might have chosen to write it herself. It might have been between her and her judicial assistant or her research attorney who wrote it. It just depends. She is the site judge. I'm sure she has lots to do, but she might have just been like, I always kept my responses very neutral because I didn't feel it was my place to add in sass that could be read as the judges. I kept everything very, very neutral, like literally just the facts, friends, and then let the judge put in their own color commentary, which one of the judges I worked for was infamous for doing. But he would dress down attorneys frequently. I worked for a judge that was very comfortable reading a bitch, like would just sit on the bench and just dress down lawyers, and was not beloved for it. I always thought it was really funny because generally I shared the annoyance because I had been reading all their bullshit in my office. So I kind of loved it. Would I have ever wanted to appear as an attorney in front of the judge? No, I would have been so scared. Would have been like, there's a typo. What's wrong with you? Anyway, so very much enjoyed my judges, but it just depends. So yes and no, it depends, unfortunately. Did you eat? M's not enough. I had a podcast interview this afternoon. I needed to take a nap. This is the ADHD. This is really the ADHD. So with that, I don't always have time. Hello, I'm from Malaysia. Love you, Emily. Hello, Nurul. Good to see you. Question, can Amber Heard put in any more motions or does she only have the appeal left? The appeal is the only thing left. The appeal is it. She has 10 more days. So the time has passed for the post-trial motions. Elaine seems a little shady. Tracy, I think that might be a little bit of an understatement. Just joined. Oh, Jerry, I'm going to let the chat answer that for you. Question, I think the settlement motion is getting unsealed. No, the conversations of confidential settlement is not getting unsealed. It is remaining sealed because it references confidential settlement discussions. That remains confidential. So, when are you going through all the stuffs? I wish I could tell you exactly when, but every time I say I'm doing something at a time, something else happens. So it is on my docket to do. I don't know when it will get done. Do you think you'll cover the Kristen Smart case? I need to jump back in. I've looked at the Kristen Smart case. It's a cold case, which is very interesting to me. But I possibly, that is my answer. Possibly. I know it's getting ready to start trial, I think on Monday. So possibly. Let's see. Question, wouldn't JD's team know about the Juror 15 discrepancy also? Yes, they would have. If they cared. They probably didn't. They probably assumed it was just a typo. I would have been like, oh, the roll got it wrong. This is the right name, a different birth date. It could be a typo. I wouldn't have really given it much thought. I've never had the opportunity to have 5 days to have a jury roll to take a look at because criminal law, we didn't have that kind of heads up. And it was like, oh, who are the people here today? Great. Hi, people here today. Let's have a chat. Can you sit here and do this? No. Okay. Your Honor, we need more people. Do you think Heard's attorneys actually thought there was a chance of this working, or are they desperately trying to appease their client? I think it's the latter of the two. I don't think they had any thought that that would work. They can't have. Question, not a question, but Emily's Quick Picks channel is at 93K. Well, there's over 30,000 of us here. Maybe we should just plug it again. Hold on. I will show you. The Quick Bits channel is close to 100K. I love dearly the Quick Bits channel. Let me just switch over there and show you. Oh, we're at 93.3. Thank you all. The Quick Bits channel, if you've not been over there, is where I put literally all the Quick Bits. And I repost all of my shorts over there and then clip down really succinct particular topics. So when I need to cover something like the Wendy Williams stuff, and it's in the middle of a very long live stream, I will clip it down and put it over there. We have not clipped down stuff lately, but it is my intention to do a few more. So this has a whole lot of 1 minute shorts, keeping you up to date, and then a few of the longer videos over here. So yes, we're at 93.3 over on QuickBits. If you have not yet hopped over to QuickBits, if you search for QuickBits on YouTube, you will find it. So you will find it. And let's see. Let's see if I can pull it up and show you what is in, let's see. My mic is in my way and I couldn't see. This is what I was looking for. We can do this. Look at that. Quick Bits. We are at 93,660. We were just at 93.3. Question, can you do a collab with Swoop on anything just together, please? We have been talking about it. Yes, I absolutely can. Look at Joe making the numbers go. Thank you. We love getting to watch it go. You could crowdsource reading the Unsealed docs. The thing is, it helps my brain for me to see them because I need to know. I don't know what's important to me until I know what's important to me. Where does the blanket go when it's not on the chair behind you? Does it live on another chair out of sight? It lives on the bed there's a room down the hall, and it lives on the bed in the room down the hall. There have been a few times where I've had more traditional media things to do, and they've been like, can you please remove the blanket on the chair and just leave the chair? And I'm like, sure. And then I'll forget to put it back. So, Misty, I absolutely do read the Facebook comments. I haven't seen them with question in front of them, and that's why I have not gotten to them. So I need to see question marks or a Q or question, and then I will grab them. But if I don't see those words, I don't grab them because between Facebook and YouTube, there's over 30,000 people, and my eyes need something to look for. Question, are you covering the NBC fiasco? Well, I covered the article that was a fiasco. Will I cover the the 30-minute like TikTok made us do it. I don't think so, but I will consider doing it for the member spaces. I need to watch it again and see if there's even anything for me to add. Amanda Sparkle, do any of you know where I can get the application for the open position? I will link it below where we talked about today. I will share it out in the member spaces. And if the law nerds want it, I will share the link out. I want to make sure we don't inundate the team, but I shared it with the members earlier, so I will share out the link to apply because it is a link to apply. Question, which unsealed motions do you think are going to be the most interesting? For me, the stuff regarding the metadata, the devices, and the motions in Limine are what I'm most interested in. Y'all, it's happening. I'm going to leave that in the back end while we answer some questions. So, question, definitely 80s Pink. Will we ever get to read the sidebar transcriptions? Probably not unless somebody ordered them and puts them out in the public. Getting transcripts like that can be very expensive. So, we will see. Hello, Fluffy Orange. Thank you. Let me get to some more questions. I finally made one. I am rewatching all your stuff on this case. This case has been wild, but at least it's all still on the internet. Oh, you guys, look, we binged over on QuickBets. Yay! We're getting there, guys. Thank you so much. Question, if Heard doesn't appeal but keeps lying on social media, do you think Depp will sanction her and her team? Well, Depp can't sanction her and her team. They can only ask the court to do it. And do I think they will? I don't know. They haven't done it yet. I'm surprised. I thought they would. I really did think that they would file a motion for an injunction, and they haven't done it yet. So I'm surprised. How do you think the insurance suits sorry, give me 1 second. Let me try to find that. The chat is jumping like like the club. Ladies, leave your man at home. I'll get it, Miguelina. Don't worry about it. Let me see. I don't know where it went. But the chat is moving quickly. So apologies if I don't find it again. Oh, I really don't remember what it said. I am so sorry, but that happens on occasion. So let me see if I can remember what we said. Nope, totally gone. Sorry. Short term and gone, but the chat is going quickly. So I just saw a question about how many years I've worked in law. Almost 17. So a lot. Question. How did Amber Heard use insurance to pay her attorneys? That was what the other question was too. I'm going to do an entire episode on the insurance lawsuits. I was intending to do that sooner. I've not had a chance to do that, but I've been intending to do that. So I will be covering all of the insurance lawsuits. Homeowners insurance can cover a broad manner of things, but it generally does not cover intentional acts. The jury found malice. That's willfulness. That's intentional. So the insurance is now fighting over whether they have to pay or not pay. And I think that they won't. So with that, question, can Amber enforce the $2 million that Johnny owes even though she owes him? Yes, she can. She can go after the $2 million from him. They have not filed an offset. He owes her $2 million. She owes him 10. She could absolutely go after him for the 2 and let him chase her for the 10. Absolutely could happen. So, let's see. What else? I'm going to get to a few of our super chat questions. Question, will these ever be unsealed? Well, we went through what's getting unsealed, so now we know, but it's back in the stream a little bit. How many days does Amber have left to file her appeal? Like 10. Question, why do you slay so hard? I don't. I'm just a dork with a microphone, but thank you. I'll take it. Can we be like queen of the nerds? I'll take that. All the nerdiness. Question, why is the mainstream media not holding Amber to account for misleading the public about her abuse? Wouldn't I love to know? The way media works, the narratives they decide to push, why they've decided that even though Amber Heard has been found liable for defamation, they believe her. I don't know. I just don't No, I don't think the media has to pile on. I don't think there's a need to pile on Amber Heard, but I do think there's a need to stop acting as if this verdict didn't happen or that it was somehow influenced by TikTok. This verdict was not influenced by TikTok. TikTok can be mean in making fun of people. The internet can be mean. TikTok's not even one of the meanest platforms on the interwebs, in my opinion, but it didn't influence this jury. And people who have never served on a jury, have never done a jury trial, keep talking out their ass about how a jury might be influenced, and I'm fucking tired. There's no evidence of that in this case at all. The law was on Amber Heard's side. She lost. That is it. Was the internet cruel to her? Yes. Who said put on a helmet? It's the internet. Somebody in the legal commentary space said put on the helmet. Put on a helmet. It's the internet. I don't remember which of the legal commentators it was. But it didn't influence the jury. And here's the thing that pisses me off so much. A lot of what I saw on social, and again, there is an assumption that this case was unavoidable. My husband is on social media and never saw anything about the trial. That is not the corner of social media that he's on. He doesn't follow pop culture. He doesn't do that. This stuff doesn't get served to him. So you could avoid this on social media. And there were plenty in the chat that said, my family that doesn't care about this saw nothing about it on social media. But once you start watching content about it, you're going to be served more content about it. But here's the thing. The jury wasn't watching content about it. They were told not to. And there's nothing to assume. The talking down to the jury like, oh, these jury people, they couldn't possibly comport themselves in accordance with the law by not looking at the internet. It's so dismissive and patronizing to talk down to a jury that spent 7 weeks of their life dealing with this case, to be like, well, they couldn't have possibly followed the rules. Why? Not everyone is obsessed with social media. There are plenty of people that don't look at social media and don't use social media. So to say that the jury was influenced is insulting. And the jury watched it live. A lot of what I saw on social media this trial was clipping down things that happened in the trial into very quick little bits. The jury watched it live. They watched it live. When Johnny Depp was like, a mega pint, they were sitting right the fuck there. They saw it happen. When Isaac Baruch got emotional, they could feel him. He was sitting right there. When Amber Heard said, my dog stepped on a bee, they were sitting there looking at her face. This jury had the best evidence, and that was the witnesses in court, except for the ones that were by a video deposition, but you know what I mean. They saw it. So to patronize this jury and talk down to them that they couldn't have even is disingenuous. So I hope that those that want to comment on trials in the future go sit in a trial and look at the jury. The only person that identifies as a journalist that I saw in that courtroom was Chanley Painter. And she sat on those hard-ass pew-like seats serving looks every single day for 6 weeks. The only one. So if I want to hear someone's opinion on the trial, I'm going to absolutely look to her first. She sat there and looked at the jury. So did Runkle. So did Rob. So did DUI guy. So did James from court and so many others. But I don't want to hear commentary of this is how TikTok influenced the jury really anymore from the mainstream media that doesn't even know how to run a jury trial. I'm just done. It just undermines the entire system. This jury came to the same conclusion as the court of public opinion. Oh, we binged on this channel too. Thanks, y'all. Where are we at? We're at 662. Look at us go. We need to celebrate. It's been a while since we've celebrated a Bing. And a Bing with the flashy lights just means that we've gained another 1,000 subs on this channel. So thanks y'all so much. We're gonna celebrate that real quick. We've got to celebrate one on this channel, one on the Quick Bits channel. Look at us. We're rocketing towards 666. We're gonna get there. Oh, it binged. Move your head. Ah! We binged. There are times when you look at a jury verdict and you're like, how did they get there? This is not one of those times. But I think there are plenty in the media that saw this case differently and cannot wrap their head around the fact that a jury of randos came to a different opinion than them. And it's just getting hard to watch at this point. Have some respect for the jury. They're the ones who took 6 weeks out of their life, 7 weeks really, out of their life, well, more than 7, because there was that break week, and away from their work to become a member of the jury and to determine a matter of importance. People do it every day. People follow the rules every day. People break the rules every day too. We can say that, but I'm just... Mary said, I live in DC. My close friend was in the jury. She was the mother hen who made sure all the rules were abided by. That we saw that in other juries too. We've seen that in conversations from the Cardi B jury. One of the jurors wanted to talk about this stuff on YouTube and got yeeted because the other juror was like, Your Honor, she's not following the rules. Yeet. Fair, that's fair. So just the inability to respect people is definitely difficult. Did you see Popcorn Planet's video on Cats CBS today? No, I did not. I have not. I did a members only live stream today. I did a podcast interview today. I did some research for tomorrow's episode and next week's podcast today. And I took a nap. And I tried to go get Taco Bell because I really wanted Taco Bell. And the Taco Bell that's close to me is still not close because nothing's close because I live in the country. But I really, really did want some Taco Bell today. Like today was the day. I just wanted some Taco Bell. Since I went there last, which has been admittedly a little while, but not that long, it closed for construction. So I'm still like, damn it. So no, I have not seen anything. How did you know, Lauren W., that the Doritos Locos tacos are my best? DoorDash, here's the thing. I live in the country. So I can't get Taco Bell delivered to me. I just can't. So I'm really, really bummed. And now I still want tacos. I still want Taco Bell. I do. I still want Taco Bell. Do you know what happened? Here's what happened. I now associate Nikocado Avocado with Taco Bell. And during the members only live stream, we were talking a little bit about Nikocado Avocado and where he was and if he was still on the internet and that briefly. But I now associate him with Taco Bell. So we were talking about Nikocado Avocado and I was like, I want Taco Bell. And this is why I don't watch mukbang content, because I am so freaking susceptible to like, ooh, this is what I want. This is what I want. I know they need to bring back the Mexican pizza and the Mexi Melt. I loved the Mexi Melt. I loved the Mexican pizza. It was back for 7 seconds and then it was gone. I was so mad. My Taco Bell just reopened a couple months ago. I love that they're investing in infrastructure. I want a stack of tacos. Damn it. To quote Johnny Depp, were you there? I just want a stack of tacos. Damn it. All right, let's get some of our super chats for sure. You guys are, see the chat. I love you. You're so wise. Though I do have to say, I'm sorry, members, we have to bring this up. Normally what happens in members only live stream stays in members only live stream. But we're going to need to do a poll on this because there are like 30,000 of us here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But this came up in the members only live chat because when I was traveling, I bought myself a present in the airport. I had a very interesting travel day. I didn't know this was a thing, but you can get solo flavor Jelly Belly jelly beans. I had no idea. Emily, are you just talking about food because you're still hungry? Yes. Juicy pear is my favorite flavor ever. You can get solo flavored. Juicy pear, by the way, was the flavor that was the most sold out on the little rack of where you could buy your own Jelly Bellies. Now, here's the thing. Members, I love you so much, but there are who just said pear vomit. I can't. They are my favorite. Juicy pear is totally the best. I didn't know I could get them on Amazon. I didn't even know to look for them. The members only have decided that they are all the people who love the buttered popcorn freaking Jelly Bellies. So, Michelina, can we put up a poll about the buttered popcorn? Buttered popcorn Jelly Bellies. Love the most being one option, or totally gross being the next option. Because when it comes to the buttered popcorn, there are only two options. Love the most or totally gross. And so many of you love the butter popcorn Jelly Bellies. And I can't. I don't understand. I literally cannot deal with the buttered popcorn. What are Jelly Bellies? So for friends outside of the US, they are just a brand of jelly beans. They are apparently a California-based brand. They are a very popular brand of jelly beans. They are very fun. How much were these? $3.99. Good God. Did I care when I was running through the airport? No. You guys that love the buttered popcorn, I don't understand. I cannot deal with the buttered popcorn. I can't. They are always in the bottom anytime we eat jelly beans. And this trial, jelly beans became... Eat through jelly beans, I have to make sure to pick out buttered popcorn. I can't. Because I can't. It was like 60% that didn't like the buttered popcorn, but it wasn't 98% that didn't like the buttered popcorn, and that confuses me. Dr. Pepper is really good. It is really good. The chat constantly surprises. Chat, you're wise and beautiful, and I love you. But the buttered popcorn, what is happening? The Flynn said, I'm in Australia, and I can tell you we are getting excited about possibly locking Amber Heard up. We will see what Australia does. Australia is not playing. Can you explain the Amber Heard cost of appeal? I've seen different reports saying she has to post money or just a portion of the money. I trust you, so help. I've seen varying reports too. I've seen reports that it's a $500 appeal bond. This is what I think. I don't practice in Virginia. Wood Daddy practices in Virginia. Default to Rob. If Rob says something different than me, trust Rob's opinion first. If you do not post the judgment accrues interest. I don't think Amber Heard gives a fuckity fuck if the judgment accrues interest. If she has to post any of the judgment, she can ask the court to reduce it. So when the appeal gets filed, we will see if there's discussion of an appeal bond. In the Haley Page case, which we need to get back to, I haven't watched 2020 on the Murdaugh case yet, but I will. There's also a really good podcast on it. When we get back to the Haley Page case, because I'm dying to know what's going on over there, and it's been forever since I've checked in. When we get back over there, there was an appeal bond set, but that is New York. And so the way they do it might be different, but they did have to front an appeal bond. And that was interesting. So, yes, that. Let's see. JB says, my wife grabs a handful and I say, you monster, like the gingerbread man from Shrek. You monster! Is this another this is like a court of public opinion that we might need to debate tomorrow night, is whether you pick your jelly beans out individually or combine them into like literally a handful. I feel like we might need to have that conversation tomorrow during court of public opinion, because I feel like we need to do that. Question, is the application on the members only page? Not yet. I'm doing it tonight because I forgot where the link was and I had to have my team send it to me again. Look, I can't stay on top of everything. I was looking for my earrings. So, anyway. All right. Miss you, Emily. Hello, Jenna Benna. I'm here. Looking forward to another Wood Daddy and Leather Daddy chat hopefully soon. We've got like Wood Daddy, Leather Daddy, and Game Daddy. It should be a monthly thing. Well, as long as we don't objectify our guests too much. Your channel has me eating some good ramen and coffee by self-care is when you are on. Diowana, I'm so glad. That sounds delicious. I love ramen. He's looking much more trim on the prison diet. Love EDB from Spain. I think Murdaugh is going to have a rough go of it. The Murdaugh case is a summer book I would buy and read and then give to friends. Because it's so like murder in the South. It's just so wild. We were in South Carolina for a Dave concert. I loved Charleston. We didn't get to do a ton of things because concert was the main thing. But we tried to go to a pirate bar, and the pirate bar was closed earlier in the day on a Saturday, and I was so confused why we couldn't like 3 p.m. day drink at the pirate bar. I was so bummed. But there was like a pirate-themed tiki bar. So when we get back to Charleston, hopefully next year, we will be at the pirate-themed tiki bar. But I had a lot of fun. We went to Sunday Social, something social, Uptown Social. That was really fun. There was a lovely outdoor patio. And we went to another another bar because we were walking to try to get to the pirate bar that was closed. And there was a dude just with a guitar just chilling out. And we're like, yes, we are going to the bar with the dude just jamming on his guitar. We're going to have some live music. We're going to sit back and have some drinky poos. And then we're going to go to a concert. It was so great. It was so great. So yes, Bethan, there's been a murder in Savannah. That's exactly what it feels like. That's exactly what it feels like, this case. It's wild. For those of you that don't watch The Office, I'm sorry. Tiki bars are the best. I love a tiki bar. They're fun. I love a fun tiki bar. To be totally fair, I love a theme either way. Like, it can be tiki, it cannot be tiki. It's 1 a.m. in the UK, but I'm catching a great stream. Well, thank you so much, but I'm glad I'm catching a stream. I added in great. You didn't say that at all. Hopefully it's true. Thank you for Friday night stream. It gave me life. Watching Rob blush while you explained the stack. See, I think that when you don't watch Housewives, you don't understand the full tilt fuckery that is Housewives. The Murdaugh Murders is an absolutely great podcast. Totally agree. A great podcast. Do I ever watch Southern Charm? No, I have not watched Southern Charm. I have not. You said tiki bar. I said tiki bar. But if it starts with a T and has about the same amount of letters, I'm not opposed to that either. I'm truly not. But I said tiki bar. Hitman was Murdaugh, oxy dealer, partner, and cousin. It's a whole weird situation. Is that the Dark Aura brewmate you are drinking from? No, but I have a Dark Aura brewmate that was sent to me from a Delightful Lawnerd. This one is a Corksicle. I don't remember what Corksicle called this, but I love it just the same. They're almost exactly the same. Found you during JD Amber Heard. Love your channel. Thank you. So many of you did. This guy sounds like Frank Underwood. This case is as crazy as the Daybell case timeline. Yes, the timeline is insane. Listening live for the first time. Welcome live for the first time. M. Front Illas Ronk. I'm sure I put the spaces and the emphasis in the wrong places on that. I'm sorry. Was a paralegal in downtown LA until the 90s. Used to think I wanted to work at Girardi's office. Worked for his frenemy, Neil Pampino, instead. I love your vibe. I get all your 90s and 2000s pop references. Thank you. So many of you do. And yeah, Girardi's office was a prestigious place to be. They had fancy parties. They did baller shit. And now we learn what was funding it. Just watch Runkle go over the court's response to Amber Heard's motions. Can't wait for your comments. It was spicy. I'm sure Runkle was spicy. I finally have the spicy flu. Every muscle hurts. Hi from Perth, Australia. I'm sorry. Hang in there. Stay hydrated. Emily, a little extra for your hard work. Thank you. And all your mods. The mods are the best. Thank you to the mods. Hi from Arizona. Brighten my day on my heating pad with a huge ovarian cyst. I'm so sorry, Mindy. I had an ovarian cyst removed a few weeks before I took the bar exam. It was not an ideal situation. Question, I read that Judge A said if she wants to appeal, she has to put up the full amount plus 6%. That could be true. If that's true, how likely is it she will appeal since her insurance is suing not to pay? Her insurance is really still only suing over like $1 million. So putting up 10.3 million plus 6% is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot if she has to do that. So thank you for being here, Line since 5,000 subs. Thank you. Thank you. Question, is the members only live stream available on Patreon? Yes, it is available on Patreon. It is. It will be uploaded shortly. Hopefully after this live. It takes a while. I download it off of YouTube and then process it back up to Patreon so it lives there too. So you have access to it both ways. So yes, it will be. And the old ones are up there too. You can just search it. Question, what protections does Judge A have if Amber Heard and co attack her integrity? I feel like this is coming. This is coming. Nobody knows. I feel like this is exactly coming. I wouldn't be surprised if Amber Heard supporters tried to fund someone to run against her. I think the protection Judge A has is that we all watch Judge A comport herself with grace, integrity, and ethics. And so this case playing out streaming, I think protects not just Johnny Depp, but also protects Judge A. Because we see the attacks that are coming and all of us are like, that's not what I watched. Even that NBC article, it's like, this is what happened. The fuck it is. That's not what happened. At least say, this is my perspective of what could happen. Not this is the fact. It's not. Taylor Robinson, sorry, my message didn't send. Didn't see that. Love your channel. Thank you. I'm currently getting my PhD in school psychology. Yay. I want to go back after I spent a few years in special education to get a law degree specializing in education. Do you have any advice? Any work experience you have in your field will help. See if there's ways that you can advocate without needing a law degree, because a law degree can be a lot of money and time, and there might be ways for you to affect the change you want to affect without needing that law degree. Make sure that you have to have the law degree with your specialty. There might be ways to work with lawyers without having to have the law degree yourself. So I would explore that before you plunk down the $100,000+ to go to law school. I hate peas. Your profile picture is nightmare fuel. But it does look like she's yelling, Elaine! WTF. Elaine's room is pink because she really is Umbridge. I think that that's the facts here. Christy, you asked, so we delivered, sent you an email with Ben Chu riding an alpaca. I have gotten to some of them that are on Twitter, but I will look at my email right now. And I will pull this up in a way, if I can pull it up without showing anyone's email address. So Christy, let me go look real quick. I've gotten a couple of them. Let's see. My email generally gets filtered twice before it gets to me, so I don't always get into that. Let's see. This one is a different one. This one is from Sherry. Sherry, thank you. We're going to do this one first. Emily, are we now just going through your email together? Yes. Yes, we are. Some of them are on Twitter. If you follow me over on Twitter at the Emily D. Baker. If you missed the stream where I said, come in like a wrecking ball, and I feel like Ben Chu riding a wrecking ball with Candy and an alpaca, this is what's happening. Come with me and you'll see a world of lies and defamation. I love the take on it. Come with me. I love that. So thank you. Law Nerd Sherry for sending that. Let me see. There is another one. This one is from Christy. Christy, here it is. This is a different take on it. Holy shit, this is amazing. Christy, can we put this on social media, please? I love it so much. I came in like a wrecking ball. This is amazing. With the stuff, haunted alpaca with a stuffed alpaca with pockets full of candy. Is it a llama? Damn it, it's a drama llama. I don't know the difference, truly. It might be a llama. I'm still loving it. Robert Law and Lumber, the chat named his unicorn starred Sawdust. I saw that. He messaged me on Twitter about it. Okay, it's still funny. So we're here for it. It's the formal suit for me. It is the formal suit for me. And the stuffed animal. I love it so much. Word to your llama. Is it possible to send money to the moderators? How often do you check your PO box? I do check my PO box. I would have to talk to the moderators about the way they would be comfortable with doing that. And we have not ever had that conversation, but we can absolutely have that conversation. So just got my Juror Cosmetics makeup, got the mystery box. I love it. Thank you bunches. You're welcome. Don't we love the way that Jen Gerard does the best stuff? The smile on the llama is priceless. Llama in law. Yep. Ben Shoes. I think this is his formal picture from his law firm page. My very nightmarish Ben is in your Twitter DMs. Okay, MA, I'm going to go check right now. So let's see. The problem is my DMs get very, very quickly swamped. If you'll just put a little asterisk and put your Twitter handle in here, if you don't mind, so the mods can tag it to me so I can find it. MA, because I do not see a Twitter handle by that name. So I'll go look. But yes, the amount of Twitter DMs, I try to get to them all. I love seeing them. I see more than I respond to because it's a lot, but I will go look. So let's see. And now I'm getting more DMs because you guys know I'm in my DMs. All right. I will get that information and try to go find it in a minute without exposing my own DMs on the interwebs. But look at this. We're well over 94. Well over 94. Thanks, y'all. I was so confused watching Elaine's interviews complaining that Judge A apparently both allowed too much evidence and not enough evidence. Yes, they didn't pick Elaine on that. Elaine, pick Elaine. Pick Elaine. Bella Marie said, Gerard Cosmetics has the only setting spray I use. The Rich Lux collab and creamsicle is so good. I also like the Rich Lux collab. I've been using the mint chocolate chip one. It smells so nice. How much does all the sexual assault harassment allegations at NBC influencing their motive on how they are covering this case? I truly have no idea. I would defer to commentators who have worked in media to talk about how media works, because I have not worked in media. Oh, okay, MA, I see you. I'll go look. It's not very boring. It's fine. I'll go look. So let's see. Let me go. It's hard because with the handles, I just don't see it. I will go look for it and share it, but I just do not see it right off the bat. Let me see if it went. No. And it's hard because if I don't see the handle, let's see. Yep, I just don't see it easily. So I will go look for it after stream because I don't want everybody to be like, we're just here watching this. And I have a bunch of chats I've got to get through, but I will go look for it for sure. So thank you. And I will go look for it. I'm just bummed I don't see it because I was hoping to. But maybe if I refresh, I'll look one more time. If you want to resend it, please don't hesitate to resend it so it bumps to the top. All right, let's go to a few more. Hello from Little Napa area, Lodi, California. I know where Lodi is. The hit piece on NBC is all about YouTubers and how they made money from the trial. I was watching Andy Signor earlier about it. He gave an interview to a journalist from NBC. I didn't take that away. I saw them talking about TikTok more, but I will have to go watch it again. This is from the Murdaughs. They own private waterways in the Low Country. That's interesting. I will absolutely look that up more. That's a story with tentacles. It really is a story with tentacles. Truly, truly. The Murdaugh case is crazy. Catching my first live chat, actually on time. None of us are ever on time. It's fine. It's so fine. It's so fine to not be on time. Let's see. Hello from Leicester. Leicester? We'll go with Leicester in the UK. First stream, welcome, Bobby D. Have you been following the family court judge in West Virginia that went out to a defendant's house to search it for things not turned over to a spouse? No, but that sounds epic. I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see what happened there. I need to know what caused that, because that's extreme. Big fan just subbed. Can you call out Mandy Matney's podcast? Did I pronounce Matney's wrong? The Murdaugh Murders. It's amazing. We've talked about the Murdaugh Murders quite a few times, so thank you again for sharing it. I really appreciate your channels. Thank you. You're welcome. She's clearly been channeling Umbridge for your... Yep. And maybe that's why we picked up on the vibe so strong. Question, if I sign up for membership, do all proceeds go to you? They all go to my... Well, if you sign up on YouTube, a percentage goes to Google. If you sign up on Patreon, a smaller percentage goes to the companies that operate the platforms, but then it goes to me. And then that, generally the money from memberships is what pays the team. So the memberships, because they don't fluctuate as much, is what I know that we have for team, because we have team. So yes, for me, to allow me to run this channel. So Jax... I can't even read that. Jax something I and PewDiePie got singled out and harassed for their commentary on the trial, mainly Beard's behavior. I will go look if that's regarding to the NBC thing. I will watch it again. But let's see. NBC will make money off selling the doc overseas. Probably. Hi to my mom who loves you. Hi, Laura Ash's mom. Can you put the color of lip gloss you use on the link to the lip gloss in case I don't see you respond to this or on your IG story? Yes, I generally wear pink frosting, and then the two, I'm wearing just lip pencil tonight because they're so soft. I can. The two lip pencils I'm liking the most at the moment are Cher and Bel Air. So I have 3 of the Cher pencils around my house. So those are the ones I'm loving. And then I've gotten some other lip glosses that I am trying that I'm enjoying too, but I wear those over those two. Maybe they didn't issue a stop order to Amber Heard because she wouldn't abide by it. Anyway, possible. NBC trying to scare people into not using social media is more a threat than the Depp Heard trial is. That's more likely to silence people than the actual trial and is completely irresponsible for a news site. Callista, isn't it odd? And isn't there here's the thing that gets me. Isn't there a self-interest in NBC saying, don't look at social media, look at us? It's like when CNN, there was somebody on CNN complaining about YouTube. Like, we should shut down these people that can just go on YouTube and talk about stuff. Why? Because we're beating you in views? No. If there is stuff that's harmful, but who gets to decide what's harmful? It doesn't get to be the mainstream media that decides what's harmful. Because I don't think the mainstream media is always helpful. You don't get to decide what's harmful. If people are threatening, harassing, inciting violence, then we have a conversation. But if we're just saying shit that you disagree with, that's not harmful. That's discussion. Laura said Pirates of the Caribbean is now open at Disney, and they did not remove Captain Jack Sparrow. They made him better. They put to a mega pint glass of wine in the hand at the end of the ride. He had a glass at the end of the ride, so if they upgraded the glass, that's amazing. I'll go look for pictures. Because there was always a glass, but if they upgraded it to a mega pint, I'm living for the sass. My niece saw your purple hair, so today we had her hair highlighted purple. Joanna, Kirby, and your niece. Hello, purple hair gang. I see you and salute you. Doesn't the malice standard matter as well? Yes, like a normal person can retweet, but she's the one who could have had such a blatant disregard for the truth. Leanne, you make an excellent point. Just retweeting about celebrities is probably not going to meet actual malice. More reasons why the article's wrong. Thank you for expressing what I felt about the media on Amber Heard. You're welcome. I'm getting very annoyed. And I'm normally not so into my opinion on things, but it's getting ridiculous. Morgan Louderbeck. I'm new here and we're getting close to code red. Yeah, that was a code red. I just didn't call it. I was hoping it would get better. Thank you for how much you've learned. You're welcome. I should have gone code red. I didn't. I just was vibing with the purple tonight. It might have been a DEFCON Death Star. Here's the thing, though. We have to go through Code Red tomorrow night because we're going to get into Britney stuff, and it's almost always a Code Red situation when we deal with Yeeted. And it's just, the purple it just feels so nice tonight. Thank you for covering this. NBC did a total hit piece full of blatant lies, pro Amber Heard, trashing Depp, and YouTube creators as well as their subscribers. I will have to watch it again. I didn't have such a strong reaction to it when I watched it. I had a much stronger reaction to that article. Getting more of my money's worth out of this than NBC got out of their legal team for the document. For the doc. There are more docs coming, I'm sure, about this. It was interesting to me. They prompted, Elaine's going to be part of it. Okay. She didn't say anything she hasn't already said, which was interesting. JD was severely abused by Amber Heard. The MSM focusing on other aspects is disgusting and demeaning to DA survivors. NBC doesn't want to talk about the number of men who are abused. They don't seem to. Worst thing about the NBC interview was coining of the term ambered, disgraceful. That is a fair point because I've not heard anyone use that at all. Like, do we think that's really happening? Emily, why are lawyers, mainly law professors, it seems, pushing out, publishing these out of context opinions? I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. None. Oh, yes, Miguelina, please end the poll. Thank you. We'll get back to it in just a minute. This is a large amount of oof. I'm deciding Thursday is a good day as any that I'll be drinking some rum to get through this mess. That's very fair. She also posted it on Instagram, a screenshot. I will have to go look. I'm in a mood to call out the fuckery. It's not healthy to hold it in any way. It's true. It's true. Thank you, MP, for the super sticker. The twisting of words and interpretations is mind-blowing. It sounds like they're trying to start Cohen's moral panic. Sub to quick bits. Thank you. It really is crazy. All right, let's look at these poll results. Butter popcorn jelly belly, totally gross, love it the most. 64% totally gross, 35% love it the most with 7,000 votes. We had 9,000 votes earlier and the numbers were almost exactly the same. Law nerds, you're nothing if not consistent, and I appreciate you for that. Amy Rosa said exactly, I had never heard that until this shady doco. I think the best thing to maybe do with it is not watch it. So, what doc did NBC produce? Is it on Peacock? It's on YouTube. It's on their NBC YouTube channel. Something about marriage on trial or something. Their marriage wasn't on trial. The shit Amber Heard said was on trial, but something like that. You guys, thank you. As we're zooming towards 95, we're getting close to 5,000 away. So appreciate you. The only reason social media users should be afraid if it's defamatory, what they're posting is let me try again, Nicodemus. The only reason social media users should be afraid is if it's defamatory, what they're publishing or posting, republishing. This is why people need to think about what the fuck they're posting first, especially if they're a celebrity. I mean, and there's one thing saying like, oh my God, did you see this article about so-and-so? That's not republication in the same way. You know when we're going to talk a lot more about republication when we circle back to the H3 case, because that's what they're trying to make happen in that defamation case in California. Cav is trying to say, oh, well, Ethan Klein said, oh, this Variety article says this, therefore he defamed me. But reporting on what a Variety article said is not going to meet republication. And we're going to have that conversation more in the context of that case. So since NBC published this, why did they put it on the internet? It couldn't possibly be seen by other audiences since I guess NBC reaches everyone. That makes a lot of sense. Why bother putting it on YouTube? Someone fetch the salty watermelon whiskey for my girl. She's feeling the Elaine range. I'm so annoyed by it, but I'm glad we covered it. I feel better. Today I published this op-ed in the Washington Post, but of course you already knew that because you're the original audience and you've already read it. Right? So why bother sharing it? Can EB lose her career for defaming the jury judge? She hasn't defamed them. She has definitely walked a line. I don't think that she'll lose her career. I definitely think people might view her differently for the antics going on here. Ya boy Gary said at some point, if you would like to play my song Amber Waves of Pain on YouTube, all permission granted. I feel it's appropriate and a nice breather. Everyone will enjoy. Much love. Gary, I will go look for it for sure. Emily, do you want to challenge her and her professorship by showing greater expertise? Oh. Do I want to challenge her for her professorship? No. It used to be a thing you could do in the Middle Ages. No, I'm definitely not challenging anyone. I'm challenging their opinions in that article, and that's it. I love doing this the most. Hello, Kevin. These articles are fear-mongering bullshit. Yep, I added the shit, but yep. I don't understand how anyone could see the internet's dealing with this case as worse than this article. They don't like the angle that the internet took. So this is really where we're at in the age of social media right now. Oh, I don't like that opinion, therefore it's invalid. That's not invalid. Question, wait, I just got back. What were the results of the popcorn jelly bean poll? The chat can let you know. The chat can let you know. It was like 65 something, 30 something. Umbridge knows these motions aren't it. Is it normal for a lawyer to do this much for a client? Yes. But I think the Juror 15 motion was over the top. I don't have issues with the rest of them. They're not going to win, but they need to be made. But I do have an issue with the ridiculousness of the Juror 15 motion, given everything we saw. Remember, Dateline is an NBC program, and they did the interview. They are pissed that no one watched. So why keep doubling down? Thought only appellate cases set legal precedent. Generally, Griffin T., that's true. And Supreme Court cases. Interestingly, that we haven't heard a peep out of Rottenborn. Is he involved in these motions, or is it all Elaine? These were all signed by Bredehoff. I think Rottenborn is staying the fuck away. Smart move. Big hugs to Emily and my best bear, Martin. With all the MSM Elaine shenanigans, we need to send you some all-dress chip stats. I'm always down for all-dress chips. They're so freaking good. Thank you, Roro. You know, we just need to get to Canada soon. I love it when intellectual people argue their point. Julia, Sugar Baker style. Emily, you rock. Thank you. I was annoyed. Lisa, hello from Long Beach. Hello, Beach. Go Beach. It's okay to love when I'm annoyed. Sometimes I can be feisty. I think NBC hitched their wagon to her and made a fool of themselves as a result, and now they have to make fetch happen by trying to order reality. Sorry, guys, not going to fly. It's not going to fly, Nicole, because we all watched the trial. That's why it's not going to fly. We all watched the trial. First time ever sending a super chat anywhere. Sherry, thank you. You get 2 questions. One, can they appeal? Not the ruling with Juror 15. It doesn't mean they won't try. And that appeal is decided on, will the case finally be over? When the appeals are done, it should be, but you can still try to take it to the Supreme Court depending on the issue. We'll know more once we see the appeal, if there is an appeal. This is a brand new document, but it looks like a math test the teacher has been making copies of for 17 years. It does. The scanning is special on this. I wonder if there's a font. I didn't look at the local rules to see if there was a font necessity. I wonder if they're required to use that font. Saving a minor clerical error to use as a free reset after trial seems clever, except the courts have been around for so long. I'm glad lawmakers saw this kind of BS coming long ago. Yeah, they definitely knew this wasn't a get out of jail free card, if you will. K. Bragg, Juror 15 was really Tupac. He came back from Cuba where he's been hanging out with Biggie, Jimmy Hoffa, and Elvis so that he could ensure justice for Johnny Depp. Yes. That is the only rational thing that makes sense. Yes, K. Bragg, you're yes. Yes. Johnny and Jeff Beck's album 18 releases tomorrow. I'm sure it will be trending all over the social medias. Amber Heard's side of the Jury 15 story is a lot like trying to make fetch happen with Dr. Curry and the Muffins. It's exactly like that. Question. So now can Elaine get in trouble? There's no ask for sanctions here. I think the judge dressed it down as much as this judge is going to dress it down. The judge laid the record clear that this motion was fuckery. Juror 15 was the Muffin Man. Vintage Willow, yes. And Tupac. Notice how badly Elaine's motions are typed, misspellings, phrasing, spacing. Ben's and the judge's response were so well done. There's definitely a difference. The Murdaugh doc on Discovery Plus is insane. I will have to put it on my list to watch it before I do the podcast, which means that will have to be soon because I'm going to do the podcast on Murdaugh for next week. Can we please have Elaine merch? No, I don't want to give her the attention. Amber Heard doesn't want to file she's gotten plenty of attention on this channel, but not in the realm of merch. It's just, No, Amber Heard doesn't want to file appeal even if she has the money, because if she loses, the money goes from the court escrow account right to Johnny Depp. Well, we'll see what she does. It's not a good thing when the judge puts items in bold type in a response. Yes, this is final. Final. Shelley said they're so disingenuous because they act like they found out about his birthday using publicly available information when in fact it was in the court documents that they had access to. Yep. Using not publicly available information, using the information we had. Can Johnny Depp send a cease and desist to Amber? I don't think they will. If they wanted to do that, they would probably use an injunction through the court, and they haven't chosen to do that, and I'm surprised. Judge A said that she had this trial for 6 weeks. Well, there was a week break, so 7, and then the jurors were deliberating. So it was really over 7 that this jury was involved. So, Crazy Cat Queen, these items seem so basic. If Elaine or any lawyer is supposed to know this, can Amber Heard request a mistrial for ineffective counsel? You don't get a mistrial for ineffective assistance of counsel in this type of case. You can try to sue your lawyer for money, but you don't get a do-over. None of Amber Heard's constitutional rights have been infringed. Her feelings have been hurt. She has lost a case and it's lost a lot of money, but none of her constitutional rights have been infringed. And she gets to choose her own lawyer. It's a civil case. It's not like the government acting against you. These are two parties acting against each other. The more they do, the deeper the hole they dig. Yep, they're literally the meme from Scrubs of digging your own grave. The code is more of what you'd call guidelines than actual rules. That seems to be how Elaine's taking it. Is Elaine's conduct in this case egregious enough to warrant a bar complaint? I don't know who would complain. The public absolutely should not complain. Only the parties involved can complain, and I don't know if they will. Because, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, when you look at like the Murdaugh case and the Juror case, Elaine's fuckery is just that. It's fuckery. If Elaine walks into this courtroom again, the judge is going to be like, I don't trust what you represent to me. And losing the trust of courts is very damaging to your career, I think. This law seems on point. Is it common to have it that spot on? Generally not, but the code said exactly what Elaine was trying to do. After the NBC documentary, I'm going to start a movement called Me Through, as I am done with misleading MSM left, right, and in between. Oh yeah, the fuckery's on all sides. I'm tired of the fuckery on all sides. I'm tired of everything being so slanted. You guys, I'm going to try to get to a few more. It's almost been 2.5 hours, and I have to prep for tomorrow too. So I cannot guarantee that I will get to all super chats. If there's any more that comes in, I cannot guarantee I will get to them. So just know that going in. Are you going to circle back to the Geico case? Yes. It's gotten bumped because of all this nonsense. But yes, I am. Judge A, I am disinclined to acquiesce to your request. Wouldn't that have been delicious? It would have been a little too on the nose. It would have been a little too on the nose. And then they would have been like, see, Judge A's a Johnny Depp stan. It would have caused more problems, but it would have been delicious. Yes. Please, please, please do an extra long live on Britney and everything. We're doing a long live on Britney tomorrow. It's going to be long. I'm not even going to do a weekly roundup. I'm just doing the Britney stuff. Opinion. Since Fox's wild opinion shows have been eating NBC, CBS, ABC alive for years, perhaps NBC is trying to rebuild viewership by being just as wild. Perhaps. My kids love you. Can you say hi to Brayden and Mason? Hello, Brayden and Mason. Would you and the family play Bean Boozled? We have. I hate it. Family court judge showed up at federal law enforcement officer's home, no warrant, etc., allegedly looking for the officer's ex-wife's personal belongings. It didn't fare well for the judge. Oh, I'm sure it did not. I'm sure it did. You can't do that. Can we get objection fuckery merch? Yes, we can. I'm behind on things, but yes, I can put it on the list. Hello from Arizona. MSM big mad because YouTube commentators took away their ratings by truth and are not going along with the narrative. Don't believe your eyes and ears. Believe what they say. We're definitely not going along with their narrative, but that's the thing. We're just having a conversation. I reset it. Hopefully it's there. I will go look, MA. I'm going to look right now. Let's see. No. That's so weird. I'm going to have to go digging through and find it and see if photos got blocked somehow, because sometimes Twitter does that. But I will go looking for it. So I will go looking for it for sure. Because there are also filters on, and I worry that it got swooped. But I will look for it. But you can also send it. My email is publicly available, so you can also send it there, because I do not see it. Have to share. My daughter just brought over my birthday gift. It's the JD Mega Pint wine tumbler winning. Your daughter is cheeky, and I love it. Happy birthday. Has Ben Rottenborn made any statements since the trial? He went MIA. Also, any plan on what your next live trial might be? I have not made plans on a next live trial. We have so much work to catch up on. I was going to be in New York for Jen Shaw. Jen Shaw has settled, so now I have to reset, but I've been so busy. I sent a super chat, but it disappeared. But here's another one just to say thank you for being you and love you from New Zealand. If it's disappeared, it probably didn't go through. Sometimes that happens on the YouTubes. From Kayla, did you get the package I sent a while back with the legal scales, jewelry, and Lego keychains for your boys? I did get it. I've been wanting to share them on social, and I just haven't had a moment. But yes, I got them. I have them. I have a box of stuff that I want to share, and they are at the top of the box. Thank you. I do have them. And I have not had a chance to do a unboxing for a while. Hello, Rob. So, agreed with the Amanda Sparkle suggestion to have Ben Shu alpaca merch. We'll see. I'm not selling anyone else's name and likeness, though. It would have to be changed. Have you seen the somewhat infamous video, deposition misconduct by attorney witness? Have any anecdotes about that, a particularly extra deposition? I did not do a ton of depositions, thank God. I've got a lot of trial stories. I did more trials than I did depositions. Thank you for sharing your code for Green Chef. Our first box arrives tomorrow. Rebecca, you will love it. My 14-year-old made dinner for the entire family last night using Green Chef. It was great. It was great. Emily, what if any experience have you had with Harry Potter Bernie Bott's every flavored beans? I think that's the same as Bean Boozled. I've had Bean Boozled. I have not bought the ones from like a Harry Potter land, though. When we went to Harry Potter World with the kids, we did get butterbeer. That was fun. Messy Mama said, hey, Emily, it's my birthday. I'm having a crappy day, but happy to have made it to your live for the first time. Messy Mama, happy birthday. I'm sorry you're having a crappy day. It happens, but I'm glad I saw your chat. Question, did you see that Elon admitted he is the father? What? No, Nicole, I did not see that. I have not seen that. Can Rottenborn fire Elaine for humiliating him? Nope. That's not how that works. They might not work together again. Average Rando said, I'm on chemo and hairless, but I got a wig colored like your hair. I feel beautiful. You are beautiful and a warrior. So keep going with your chemo. I know it absolutely sucks. I've had too many friends go through chemo. It's so hard. So I'm glad it makes you feel sassy on the days that you're feeling sassy. You can also just rock the hairless, like go for it. Okay, I get it. JD doesn't really have scissors for fingers. I guess I can get on board with him not being a pirate, but wait, he still has the chocolate factory, right though? No. Johnny Depp does not still have the chocolate factory. You know why? I heard that Mr. Beast stole it from him. Like Mr. Beast adversely possessed the chocolate factory. That's what I heard. I was so confused watching Elaine's interview complaining that Judge A allowed too much and not enough. Exactly. Ambered and Ambered are not connected to Amber Heard anywhere online or social media that I can find by Elaine. Exactly. Not a question. Would love an early happy birthday 45 on Saturday. Hen House Bath Co. Happy birthday. 45's coming up for me too. I'm excited. Well, I mean, yeah, next year. Go to a candy store, buy a bag of 3 pound of just juicy pear and red apple jelly bellies. It's the best. I didn't even know you could do that. I might. First live, yay, I agree. I live in Fairfax County and I didn't know about it until it was over. I'm so upset I didn't get to follow until after. None of my friends followed and we all have Facebook, Twitter, Insta, TikTok, and YT. Tina, how can it possibly be? You couldn't even escape this trial. If you lived in Fairfax, there's no way you could have possibly escaped this trial. I'm being facetious. From Australia, question, what is a tiki bar? How do I explain a tiki bar? It's an island themed bar with fairly themed drinks with tiki glasses. Hold on. Tiki bar. Images. And they have specific tiki mugs. Like these. This is from Chopper, Nashville, which is adorable. I love it. I've actually been to this tiki bar. But they have tiki, different types. Different bars have different types of tiki themes, but they have tiki mugs. They have like an island theme, always some kind of a volcano drink. There's always fun drinks. There's always lots of detail. The bar is always themed. The drinks will always have umbrellas. These are all different types of tiki mugs. Chopper's so well themed. It's really fun. These are all tiki mugs. Some of them are Star Wars themed, robot themed, because this is a particular themed tiki bar. But there are others like Trader Vic's and others. So tiki bars are a whole lot of fun. They are themed. They are very specific, and they have all different types of themes. But the things you will generally see are the tiki glasses. You will see the kind of island life vibes a la like a Trader Vic's. There will always be rum, and there will always be fun drinks that are very colorful, sweet, and feisty. Plus tiki mugs that you have to have the tiki glasses. That one looks amazing. So that's a very cool tiki mug. People collect the tiki mugs. It's a whole tiki bars are a whole situation. People travel to go to tiki bars. It's got a cult following. Tiki bars are super fun. Polynesian style. There we go. You guys are like hula themed. Good. Chat is describing this better than me. Tiki bar drinks are strong. Yep. In the tiki room. In the tiki room. Yep. That. Did anyone else see the articles about Elon Musk's dad having a kid with his stepdaughter? K-Raw, from what I saw on the interwebs today, it was not having a kid with his stepdaughter. It was having another kid with his stepdaughter. I have questions. I have questions. I also didn't know Elon Musk had 10 kids. I clearly do not cover or follow that side of pop culture nearly enough because I was shooketh today and I was like, I don't have time for this fuckery today. I do not have time for the fuckery today. Today, I do not. All right, I'm going to get to just a handful more super chats and then we will go. Extroverted Emily says, LawTube knows too much per all of mainstream that doesn't want us simple people to know more, right? They think we're all randos and dumb. We are not dumb randos. We are the smartest. But isn't it easier to control people when you lead them to believe they can't think for themselves? I'm just saying. Also, going to be in Nashville tomorrow through Sunday, Tennessee, born and raised. Enjoy. We're in the middle of a hot streak. It's not great. It's hot. It's sure hot. Question, what if people interested in the sidebar transcripts contribute to getting it? I'm sorry if I overstepped. You're not overstepping at all. I don't know if they will be available, but I can look. I found you through Philly D and stayed because you make awesome content. Thank you. I try to make content that is informational and enjoyable and sometimes ranty. Yo, the Jelly Bean Corporation also makes Bernie Bott's any flavor beans because of course they do. Of course they do. And you know what's in those any flavor Bernie Bott's beans? Buttered popcorn beans. Good luck. Here's the buttered popcorn ones. Long time replay watcher, first time live watcher. Isn't the chat fun, Angela? Our chat is so wise. Our chat is so great. Our chat is the best. So you help me understand the why. That's what I tried to do. I was on a jury once. We were told not to internet social media. I didn't even turn on the TV. I read 3 books. Isn't that strange? You're like, oh, okay. I think if somebody was like, hey, you can't be on social media for a week, I'd be like, I mean, all right. If I have to not be and I have a reason, I would tell you all, hey, I can't be on social media for a week. I'll see you in a week. And I would probably also read books. I served as a juror in a child abuse case and didn't even talk to anyone, nor went online at all. I was so drained each day when I got home, showered, and went to sleep. Jurors take civic duty seriously. That's been my experience. That's absolutely been my experience. Do you think you may cover the Manson Wood trial? I haven't even started looking at it, but I will look at it It's on my list. Maybe. Sorry if I'm a little behind. Have you ever heard of Jungle Gyms? They have an entire aisle of individual and mixed Jelly Belly brand jelly beans. I have not been to much of Ohio. I've been to Ohio once, but I've not been to much of Ohio. So thank you. Oh, my mother is calling me. Mom, I'm streaming. You're clearly not watching me streaming, but I'm streaming. You know what she's going to be calling me to say? Did you say you were going to eat Taco Bell for dinner? You shouldn't be eating Taco Bell for dinner. Question, can you be my friend? Ma, Esther, we're totally friends. We are law nerds. We are here. We are people. Don't mind me just manifesting. Betty the cow, you're purple. It's great. Thank you so much, Carol. All right, we've got to roll. Answer, the court transcript attached to the defendant post-trial motion says she has to pay the full judgment plus interest. Judge A was brutal. Oh, good. Well, I will go look for it. I will go find the transcript. And if she has to, then she has to. I watched you when you had 50 people and less than 4,000 subs, and we discussed lipstick in a lighted tube. And look at you now, over 600K, and still talking about lipstick in a lighted tube. We don't change. It's just the same. I won a competition TV show about tiki bars. Jay, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Wait, what? Went to the Jelly Belly factory in Sacramento. They have tastings with wine pairings. That sounds either amazing or awful. That sounds amazing. Jack, I just witnessed my first Bing. Yay. I always watch you when I play The Sims 4, currently doing it right now. Did you see my interview with my friend Scott White, who voices characters in The Sims? Because that lives on my channel. I need to have him back. I do want to do more, like set aside some Friday nights to do some more interviews and just chats. Question, Danielle, you're actually super awesome, nerd. My 6-year-old son smiles every time he sees your face on TV. Keep being you, and the trolls can eat my shorts. I mean, trolls like to eat shorts and they just kind of leave. I mean, the thing about people on the internet who desperately want attention is they will try to find a way to desperately get attention because they're like screaming for attention. And I'm like, I'm sorry that people didn't give you the attention that you need and deserve, but I am not going to give you negative attention. But if you want to come positively interact with this community, you will find a great and amazing community of people that want to interact with you, want to connect with you, want to laugh with you, want to have fun, want to have a conversation. But if people come in acting like dicks or trolls, we're not going to engage with you. So thank you. I'm definitely not a cool kid. I'm just, we're just doing this. So anyway, that's what it is. What did you use to learn to edit your videos? YouTube. I watched YouTube and then I did it in iMovie because it was free on my computer. And then as the channel started to grow, I hired my friend Miguelina at Tech Valor to be my editor because she does it better than me. And because creating content is literally my main focus on this. And it allows me the freedom to do some other stuff. So she takes care of our mod squad, produces the shows in the back end and edits, and is my invaluable right hand with that stuff. So it's great. You guys are still going on about the buttered popcorn jelly beans. We're all going to just agree to disagree on that one. We're all going to just disagree. So loving the positivity here tonight, much needed. Even though we talk about fuckery that pops off on the internet, this is a positive community. We don't lean into the negative. Occasionally we go, in exasperation, but we engage with each other positively. And that's what matters the most to me. That's the point of being a law nerd. We have a Jelly Belly factory here in Wisconsin too. We created a draft beer flavor, of course. I wonder if Tennessee has a whiskey flavor somewhere. I wonder if they do. Yeah, the one in Tennessee is a nerdy tiki bar. It's great. Okay. With that, you guys, I've got to go. I'm going to go call my mother back and find some food. I will see you all tomorrow night. You know why? Because tomorrow night's Friday Night Live. And what are we doing on Friday Night Live? We're going to talk about Britney. We're going to talk about Britney's latest court hearing. We're going to talk about James Steers being ordered by the court to sit for a deposition. Fucking finally. We are going to talk about all of it. So we will mention it all tomorrow night about Britney. Solo topic show, that's it. And maybe a court of public opinion about jelly beans. Maybe a court of public opinion about how we eat jelly beans. That just might need to happen. So with that, thank you for the extra ride tonight, mods. Thank you for the extra ride. I know we're still almost at 3 hours. It just is. It just is. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being law nerds. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you for being you. I appreciate you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great Friday, and I will see you for Friday Night Live. It is time to go. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you tomorrow.
Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. If you guys want to join the text, just text Emily.com. If you want to join the channel, LawNerdsUnite.com. Happy to have you. Support.
I ended my intro by accident. That happened.
Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. If you guys want to join the text, just text Emily.com. If you want to join the channel, LawNerdsUnite.com. Happy to have you. Support what we do here on the YouTube.